Okay. Yeah. Hi guys.
Wednesday is a day worth celebrating at Burger King because all day long you can get a juicy flame grilled Whopper meal for only $8. And if you missed it, don't worry, the next Whopper Wednesday is right around the corner. Valid only on Wednesday at participating Burger King Canada restaurants for a limited time. Pricing may vary by region. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me? Hey. So I think the week started very, very quiet. And there was no much story that I could say was really trending. We had the whole story of what happened with was just Elrufai. There was that interview and other stuffs like that. Then at some point, this Sujimoto news broke out, and this has been trending for a while. And I believe that the whole thing. I'm gonna first read the news, and then I'm gonna share the story, and then comment on that, and then look for some of his videos where he actually came out and he cried. So this was it. The first thing that happened was that we got this on the 5th of September. EFCC says that this guy, who we all know is always involved in luxurious buildings and the likes, was declared wanted. Was declared wanted by the EFCC. So the public is hereby notified that Ola Suji Ogundele of Sujimotos Luxury Construction Limited, whose photo appears above, is wanted by the EFCC in an alleged case of diversion of fund and money laundering. Anybody with useful information about his whereabouts should please contact the commission in its Ibadan or all those offices listed there. I'm not gonna read that. And this came out and everybody was like, wow, what happened? Apparently, the guy came out and then released the video. So what I don't understand is, was there an invitation sent to this guy way before all of these public notification or public notice was printed? I don't know. I don't. Now the guy came out to explain his own side of the story. And at some point it became so much for him, not for me, but for him, it became so much emotional. And this is what he had to say.
I'm not a thief and I'm not a fugitive. This is a contract between my company and the ENUGU state government. ENUGU state government asked me to help them build a couple of things, a couple of projects, which was very interesting. I was going to the state every week. In the middle of the project, they said, okay, the governor said he wanted to build a city. And he wanted to build the tallest building in Nigeria, 69-story building. I designed it and gave it to him. He said, okay, keep it aside.
Okay.
He said, while you're waiting for this, please help me do these schools. That we have money, but we don't have people that can do it. I've never done this type of schools before. But I knew it was cement and concrete and machinery. I knew it was arrangement. So I said, okay, let me give you a try. I told the governor, I said, this project it's impossible because of the pricing, the cost of it is too low to build. The government said, don't worry, just help me do these schools, and later you won't make money from the schools, but you make money from the other projects, which I was very.
Again, people do that a lot. They try to open stuff and then try to use that as a way to get a bigger project, but at the same time, the price was already low.
Happy with. Right there, I mobilized 42 engineers to the states. I took the house in the state. I love the state. I went to the states, and I was there doing the job. I was traveling from Eazy to different local governments. I had an accident that my back got broken, but I didn't tell anybody. Now, the contract was frustrated. When we took the contract, at every point, I knew that it was difficult to do it because of the pricing. Now, when we took the contract, cement was 7,000. By the time we left, cement was 10,000. I faced a lot of people. Sometimes.
Again, I would believe that this guy has been into so many projects. These are stuff that you make provisions for. Whatever project it is that you embark upon, there is an high likelihood that at some point, if the project gets delayed, or even if you've got all this stuff happening, and then you get to a point where, okay, fine, you have all of this done, but there was something that happened beyond your control. And that happens with almost every major project. If you're into construction, if you're into buildings, you would know this. What were the provisions that you made to cover yourself? Because right now, I mean, doing a video would not suffice. You've got to go defend yourself. What were the agreement that was signed? Were there a provision made for variations? Were there other things? I mean, even if you look at the old stuff, right, from the get-go, you knew this would be a failure. Were there provisions that you could back out without so much penalties?
In the villages, my stars are being shot at. Sometimes they will have some people come, they'll bring guns and shoot at them. I was still there. But at the end of the day, I was things went sour between myself and the government. And I was still there. If I had money, I would continue the project, but I had my other projects. I had stress on my other project that I wanted to do. They took me to court. And I said, okay, let's look at the entire project. How much have we spent? Till the last day I was in the project. I was there till the last day. Then I asked me that, how much have we spent in the project? And I put my foot. They took us to court, and we told the court, we don't want to fight with the government. Let's agree. How much do we owe you? And I was in agreement with them, and now they declared me wanted. They destroyed my company that I built with my hand.
Again, I feel some sympathy for him, but again, this could have been avoided. There's no way this could have really been avoided. It's just crazy.
But I'm going to go there. I'm going to the EFCC office. I'm going to go and clear my name. In the last 2-3 years, prices have just gone crazy. If I'm doing my project, it's delayed, 5 years delayed. Something I could have done with 2 years. Prices of things changed.
Okay.
The economy went sour on me.
Right now, we're being joined by Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, who's a lawyer, columnist, and public affairs analyst.
Again, that's a lesson. That's a lesson to all.
I'm not a thief.
That's a big lesson to all, especially those that are, into so many projects. If you're into construction, or if you've done something related to construction before, you should know that this stuff do happen. These stuffs do happen. And that is why you have to ensure that risk management, okay, is your number one priority. The last 2 years, prices have gone crazy. You need to hear from the state government before concluding that Nigeria happened to him. Nigeria can be very dramatic. Exactly. Like, if this thing is already in court, and they're trying to possibly settle, then we need to know what really happened. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't expect in Nigeria happen to contract is contract. You need to respect the details in the agreement. You don't do contract with emotions. Exactly. You don't. You don't even try. Like, again, him crying on set, having a ring light camera and then crying and trying to portray himself as the victim here does not even help the matters. I would rather he starts talking to his lawyer. Talk to your lawyer, bro. How do we get out of this? This is not even going to help the matters. This might even be putting him more into crazy situation. I'm serious. Okay, fine. You signed a contract. You couldn't deliver what really happened and all of those. And that's just it. And that's really crazy. Now, see, I don't know why my system is just getting lag. Okay. How? At what point? As an entrepreneur, listening to Sujimoto's clip resonated with me. Yeah, I understand where it's coming from. But again, you just have to protect yourself because it's a brutal world out there. It is. I'm not a thief. I mean, he gave those tearful remarks and all that. I think this guy has been on his issue. Let me see what they have said.
To the general public, Sujimoto has now been declared wanted by the EFCC. That's it right there. Sujimoto has been declared wanted by the EFCC. And not only has the EFCC declared Sujimoto wanted, I myself has also declared Sujimoto wanted because I now have a new case of Sujimoto owing another person the sum of $1.9 million.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
That's over 3 billion naira as we speak. Since 2020 or 2021, thereabout. $1.9 million. Now, all these real estate developers that are defrauding people, your time of defrauding people has been declared over. If you are defrauding Nigerians or if you are defrauding people, we will come for you. We will come for you. And we will deal with you.
Okay.
Anywhere you did. I will fish you out. Anywhere you did, I will fish you out. Your days of defrauding people is over. All the real estate developers, your days of defrauding people is over. Anywhere you did, I will fish you out. I will wipe your name from the face of the real estate market. I will turn that your brand to dust and ash. You will cease to exist. Even ChatGPT not going to find you. If they search your name, you're not going to pop up for ChatGPT. It's not a trend. It's a movement.
Okay. I mean, I don't have anything to add to that. I guess, yeah. And again, I'm like, projects in Nigeria comes with a lot of risk. I don't try to. I've gotten to the point where I would rather ensure that my investment is safe than for me to just be following some risky bets. Oh, Dangote is doing this here in the Lekki Beju stuff. Oh, let's all go there. And then dude goes there. You pay certain money. You don't even have a full account of what's happening. Again, I think the case with Sujimotos is quite different because he established himself into this luxury space. So the assumption would be that he would be going for high net worth clients. Okay, so if you're able to put a 1.9 million down for some projects, then I'll believe that you're okay, bro. You're very well okay. how are you able to put such an amount down? And at some point, you don't even kind of, check, okay, fine, how much am I putting in at first? I don't know if this story is true. So again, I wouldn't dwell too much on it. But that was it. That was what happened. Let me see this guy.
Hello. A real estate big man. Young man where they do well for real estate. Now declared wanted for money laundering and the diversion of fund. We'll see.
Let's see.
Let's look at the beginning of this young man.
Okay.
Live in a small one-room house.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Like dishwashing and trading.
Okay, that's fine.
Part of his money, his estate, should go to him. Now, the children call him. Tell us, Baba, left something for you. Now that thing, now come carry, enter.
Okay, so he got money, moved to Nigeria, and then. Okay, so this guy's always calling him out.
Sujimoto.
So this is the account of him calling him out at different points. Okay.
Yeah. With him, he has also paid February salary to his staff because most of them resigned. He owed them for January, February, and March. So he has
at this point, that's just the indicator. Once you start owing salaries, it's over. It's over because salaries compared to the project, the product, and all of those things. Again, I think he bit more than he could chew. I think he did that, and when that happens, when it starts boomeranging, when it starts cascading down, there is no easy way out. There is no easy way out. He has to, at this point in time, this guy might have to sell some of his assets just to stay afloat or to avoid jail. Because there are so many variables that could go, south. And that's what has happened. Again, is he a thief? No. The fact that you're a good person doesn't mean that you can suffer from your ignorance. The fact that you're good doesn't mean that if you've actually been more than you could chew, the fact that you're good doesn't mean if you go to the top of the 10th floor of a building and you jump from that doesn't mean you're not going to crash. To be honest, that's what has happened to this guy.
January has paid for February, and is yet to pay for March. So Sujimoto, go pay them. Despite they've resigned, ensure you pay them all their salary. Sujimoto, I'm happy for you.
No, I don't think this guy is right to be spiting him. This is a clear case of, I would say, pre-bankruptcy. I mean, that shows that the guy, and it could have been just mismanagement. You don't need to steal from your company before your company goes down. You don't.
I'm very happy for you. I've washed my hands off you. But go and sin no more. Because if you still sin, there will be part 2.
I said to myself, wow, I love this guy. I love this guy. Before we get
now to P1.
P1 real estate company. Wait till they go on for this industry. Who could read each of them? His name. They thought say the public is hereby notified. Before EFCC could do this, it means say they could all contact and invite him. Maybe he refused to go there.
Exactly, and that was what I said. That possibly he felt like he could have his own way. And just plausible deniability, or that what I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just settle. They are politicians. They're all corrupt. I don't doubt. Possibly there was some other backdoor deals or backroom deals happening. I'm not saying that didn't happen. But what I'm trying to say is this: that there would have been some effort to get to his own story. What happened? And again,
one thing that should happen to any businessman now for EFCC to declare you wanted.
Yeah.
Clean this mess from the internet. So if they invite you, go submit yourself. They know they buy person for there. The worst, they will send you go prison. You go try come out. This brand, whether they brand you so because
it's over.
To submit.
It's over. And again, the problem is the way project works in Nigeria. Let me tell you how this works. Okay. They try to okay, fine, we want to do this, allocation. There's this assets that we have right now, and we want to sell it out. So this is what they do. they start inviting people. They may not even have gotten the full access right to that. They may still have some process that is, still awaiting to be done, but they need to actually get in cash. So they call people, oh, we want to do this, we want to do this. They go on a very high promo agenda. And then they get all these monies from customers. They use that money to kind of sort out this project. Of course, there are a lot of commitment and all that. For them to be able to get customers, they have to put it at a very, very ridiculous low price. And then they get that. And once they seize the money, then you're waiting for allocation. You're waiting for you to even know your land and all that. They're not done with that project. Dude, they move on to another one. They collect that money. So at some point, they are using new monies to settle old stuff. That's how it happens. That's how most of these real estate stuff, that's how they operate. So the money you're paying today, you're buying a real estate or all that. Don't be fooled to think that that's the money for you. No, that your money is going to settle some other previous claim. So the hope is that they keep doing that, they keep rolling it over, But at some point, if that risk is not fully managed, it comes crashing down. And I think that's what has happened to this. So they get a lot of monies, they get this, they get that, they get into project, they meet so many issues while working on the project. At times, it could be something that and if you've owned property, and that's why I don't, for this kind of person, I don't even try to make jest or make fun of him. Because if you've dealt with bigger projects before, no matter who you are, things go south. Not just Nigeria. I'm telling you, not just Nigeria. Even in the West, you need to have this extra effort to persevere. Don't you see the way Donald Trump behaves? That guy is a real estate developer. They are not normal. Does Trump look like he's normal to you? He's not normal. Because of the way the terrain is. Again, you're having real estate stuff in New York. They will want to come after you. Politicians want to come after you. So you've got to understand that a lot of these real estate people, they go bankrupt. There was a time Trump was even talking about, his case, and it was like, at some point it was down $990 million. You know how much that is in Naira? Was crazy. Like it was like it's all over. And the problem is that because most real estate agents or most real estate developers, they're always leveraged. It becomes so much difficult because when it comes crashing down, they're all over. They just declare bankruptcy.
Yourself, it's not good. The public is hereby notified that the young man.
Oh, it was that one. Okay, so we've done that one.
We will come.
Okay, I've seen this one also.
Policy. The way they do in their company is that the allocation will be done after the sale of the whole 31.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah. They're selling you receipts. They're not selling you the land. The money they're getting now is actually to fulfill stuff that they've sold before. That's what happens. That's the way that business operates. Don't let anybody fool you. So again, right now, I don't do Nigerian real estate. Oh, Dangote has this stuff in this zone, this straight zone, there's this land is going for this. I don't. Because the risk there is just so much. It's so much. And most times you don't even have recourse. The reason why they can get this guy is because it's a state government. That's why. It's a state government. So, he's dealing with the big boys, right? To me, I would say just don't do another video. Yeah, that video was just possibly maybe to clear his name. But right now, nobody in his right senses wanting to build an apartment will go to Sujimoto's. In fact, some that are maybe signed a few days ago will be like, how can I get out of this deal? Or how can I get out of this contract? I'm telling you, that's how bad it is. I watched one of his interview and I was like, wow. Yeah, it was this one. Yeah.
Man, Sujimoto.
Anata Suji, what touch you are? Sujimotos are. And at a very young age, I had always wanted to understand the principle of success. I didn't have the capital of currency, but I had the capital of dedication. So that's why I could rise as a black man from nothing to everything. But I had die. Die means diligence, integrity, and excellence. Creating a building is like having a child. We don't just want to build any building.
Yeah.
We want to study the best of the best architects of the world.
Yeah.
And what were they thinking at the time when they were building? This is the Lucreza. This is the mock-up apartment.
Luxury.
The best developer in the world will enter here
And I give it to him. He has those apartments and like real good apartment. Like the apartment, yeah, wow, this is happening in Nigeria. You're gonna love it.
say, Kadesi, passion is the passport for champions. If you don't have passion for what you do, you find it extremely difficult to succeed.
Yeah.
I hate it when I see young people ranting on social media. I'm saying that time they used to rant,
Rant
I
can
convert
create
it
an idea.
into creating an idea. Anybody can come from Ikorodu and become a landlord in Ikoyi.
Welcome back to the channel, my YouTube family. It's about, I don't know, 7:30 right now. I'm going to Banana Island right now to meet Sujimoto. He has an awesome story. I don't know, there's just something with very successful people and early mornings. I'm trying to rush right now to Banana Island, and hey, for some of you that don't know, most of his projects are just done in, you know, Banana Island because he's selling real estate for just the 1% of the 1%, right? So Banana Island is actually an island. It's actually carved in the shape of a banana, hence its name. It was the most expensive neighborhood in Nigeria before we had, you know, Eco Atlantic. As a matter of fact, Davido actually bought a property from Sujimoto, the Giuliano. This interview is going to be very helpful, not just for people that are into real estate and want to learn from him, but entrepreneurs in general. Like if you really want to be a business person, this guy is a business tycoon, right? And we're going to talk to him, and I hope you guys like the video. And hey man, we're trying to crush 100,000 before the year ends, so please subscribe to the channel if it's your first time. My name is Steven. I make videos around real estate, travel, and everything in between. All right, I'm going to like to have you here in the family. All right,
Good one.
your project actually gets on in the news. It's always on the headline, so people are always like, let's hear him talk. Behind every glory, there's always a story, right? So before we get into the details of your project and what you have going on right here in Banana Island, I'm kind of like walk them through your journey of, you know, how you were able to start. You know, you had an Okada business, and right now you're building for the top 1% of the 1% right here in Africa.
Yes, yes.
How did it happen, sir?
My story is one of those type of stories that would never have happened anywhere in Africa, except in Nigeria. I was born into a very dynamic family. My father did a 9-to-5, was a manager, and my mother was an entrepreneur. I grew up in a room, not a face my face, but then a one-bedroom where my mom nurtured 8 children. But at every stage, I had a great, I think I won an ovarian lottery, where I had a great mother that taught me, you know, the basic principles of life, how to make sure that, you know, when you decide to go to school well.
Yeah.
If you want to be a mechanic, be the best mechanic. If you want to sell pure water, be the best pure water
Not a
seller.
bad one.
The norm is that we
Kudos to mothers here. It's a lot of sacrifice to raise kids.
grew up that you should remain there, go to school, maybe come out, become an accountant, and become a storekeeper or an accountant somewhere in Agege. My cousin had a friend who had an Okada, and they didn't know what to do with it. And because the guy, the Okada rider kept coming back, and, you know, he didn't pay them the money and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I want the Okada. And they said, I don't have money. I said, I'll pay you back little. But I'd already saved a little. At that time, I think I was like 9 or 8.
Yeah.
So I had something very, very little, and I gave it to them. I told them I'll give them the rest later. So what I did was that I now had a friend that wanted to play football, who also is the elder brother rides Okada as well. So we spoke with him. We did what we call a partnership now. You know, he was riding the Okada, then we went to repair the Okada. So the little money I had and they had repaired it. They understood that, you know, because of course on the street of about 45 people.
Yeah.
And my father was the second person that had a generator. So in those days, if you have a generator, you're a rich
You're a
family.
rich man, yeah.
Of course, and we switch on our generator maybe once a Sunday or once, and things like that.
Yeah.
So, I told them that they shouldn't worry that we'll pay. So I was able to persuade them. So went to repair it, they started working. Then as they started giving returns, we were able to pay the guy that owned the Okada.
Yeah.
When we finished paying the Okada, we made so much when we were just kids, 9, 10 years old.
Wow.
That's impressive.
The most important
At that age, that's very, very impressive.
part of this story is that my house became an Okada center where all the Okada guys had to come and sit down there in the evening, and my dad didn't want to have it again. From 1 Okada to 6 Okadas.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Okadas. But even if my dad had stopped that Okada business in me, he didn't stop the entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I think my most important destiny started when I decided to leave Nigeria.
How did the interest for real estate started? One, why did you decide to leave Nigeria to France? Two, and then why did you come back?
So you see, the Okada business was just a coincidence. The spirit of entrepreneurship, you either have it or you don't have it. I left Nigeria at the age of 16 or 17. I think it was my 17th birthday. It was my 16th birthday, 1997.
Yeah.
But after I found myself in France, I was kept in a refugee camp. Then I met coincidentally, from being an hawker on the street of Nice, I coincidentally met a rich man, Sheikh Mohammed Al-Raji, who is a Saudi Arabian businessman, who took me under his mentorship and carried me along and trained me and taught me all the principles of business. And at the time, I wasn't earning any salary.
Yeah.
So I was always there for him. I knew that I didn't have the capital of currency, but I had the capital of dedication. So that whatever I had, I was dedicated it to my principal, and I saw him through. So that's why I could rise as a black man from nothing to everything. I became his confidant. I became a member of his think tank, and when he died, he was able to.
Wow. That connection alone, wow, that's more than what money can give you. That's more than what salary can give you. If you're able to get someone, imagine you having one of those sheikhs in Dubai. So the access alone is massive.
The children say, Alaji said you should have this as a compensation for all your dedication of years of dedication.
Yeah.
So I think when he died in, I think 2013, September 2013, I decided to come back home. There was nothing to do. I've lived abroad almost 10 years of my life, and I said, okay, I was coming home for a couple of reasons. One, my mother wanted me to get married. Two, I thought that my talent and everything I've learned in abroad, then traveling all over the place and being connected to different numerous business deals.
Yeah.
I think I can bring that back home.
Yeah.
I had to give back home, and I also knew that Nigeria had an opportunity. It's a land of great opportunity. So I said, I would come back here and come and see how I can turn my 1 + 1 = 11. But my deepest real estate happened in 2011 when I bought a very, very bad apartment in France, right in which around small. So I bought the apartment. My then girlfriend, our brother was an architect. We went to different parts, contacted our own Romanian artisans, highly skilled laborers. They did everything. We furnished it. We looked into Google. We looked into Facebook to look at beautiful apartments. We implemented what we had there. We furnished them. We ordered all our furniture. Unfinished. By the time we finished it, and a friend of mine from Kuwait said he wanted to buy the apartment, and he bought the apartment. I made $1 million. I made €1 million in less than 6 months.
Wow!
So for me,
that was the aha moment for you.
This thing is sweet like this. So I said, okay, let's go. I moved back exactly when I realized that mediocrity had already, collapsed the real estate industry. I realized that there was no standard for luxury living. People was allocating luxury for location. So which means if you have a land in Ikoyi, you build a 2-bedroom apartment, it's luxury. No, luxury is not by location. Luxury is by what you introduce. You can have luxury in Ijebu. So when I came, I had lived in Agege, coming to Ikoyi.
For people who don't know, Agege is one of the areas in Lagos where they consider, most the lower middle. Would I say the lower middle class or the poor?
Yeah, lower middle class.
Middle class.
Very low,
yeah.
But one of the highest population of Lagos State. So I'd already come from there. Nobody had expected me to come all the way to cross Ogba, cross Ikeja, cross Mitsulere, cross Dolphin Estate, then cross, then come to VI, then all.
So that's it. So if you look at the guy, is very, 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 very inspirational. You understand? from that upbringing to walking on the street of France, and then to the point where he's now doing projects. Okay, so it's got it going for him at some point, just by sincere, I would say, ambition. And when you're so ambitious as an individual, there's that penchant for you to take risk and forget about risk management. So, and again, I don't think he is a thief, and I don't think he intentionally wanted to steal that money. I mean, looking at all the background of the stories that he's talking about, his upbringing and all that, he's done a deal and it's worked out. He's done another deal, it's worked out, and all that. One good lesson that you need to learn from this is this, and you're gonna know that if you've done deals before that has given you so much mad money that you never thought you could make. At that moment, when you've made so much money, you have to be very, very careful. And I'm speaking from experience. When you've broken it so big, you've got to be very, very careful. And that's why, up until now, most people, almost 100% of those that win lottery, especially these major big lotteries, they end up regretting it. They end up either getting broke again, they end up either getting more miserable, and possibly they never wish that they won those lotteries. It's just life. So, and I'm not saying that he won a lottery, but I'm also saying that once you've done a big deal and you've made a lot of money, I always advise people that once you've made that lot of money that you feel this is so much that you don't even need to work again in your life, take that money, put it in cash, just go around for a few months and go and rethink and re-strategize. Don't take this big money and then move into another thing. That's why most of all these MMM, bets, all those stuffs, they take all the money and put it back into it, thinking that they're going to make another monstrous home run. But then at the end of the day, it crashes and they become more miserable because not that they didn't put what they put the money that they got from whatever Ponzi scheme, they borrow more money just because they want this bigger money. And at the end of the day, they crash.
Then come to Ikoyi. Who are you? Who is your father? Who is this?
Yeah.
There was no nobility in poverty.
Yeah.
My own is that the fact that I came from somewhere doesn't mean that I must remain where I am.
Yeah.
So I always have a phrase that says that for anybody can come from Ikorodu and become a landlord in Ikoyi. Everybody thought, oh, this young guy, a billionaire and everything, but trust me, I didn't have any money. Like, the little money I had saved and the little money my principal has given to me, that was the money, that was the only money. In fact, when I bought my first land, I didn't have the total amount. I had only almost 40% of the money. With the land ownership that was in my name, though I'd already paid maybe 30 or 40% only, I was able to use it as an asset to create some kind of arrangement and started selling off land, even if I had not started developing. I didn't have any strong background. I didn't have any powerful auntie, a rich uncle.
Rich daddy.
And so, but I had DIE. DIE means diligence, integrity, and excellence. And I knew that when I wrapped that together, I discovered the secret, some kind of secret of success.
Yeah.
Which is no matter where you are, if you have diligence, if you have integrity, and you have the spirit of excellence, you'll make it.
Hearing him talk, even though you don't have an interest in real estate, I mean, these principles can be applied in all walks of life, right?
Exactly,
you now
100%.
know your story and everything. Now let's talk about the Sujimoto brand, right? But the first thing I want to talk about is the structures that you build. They're not like the everyday high-rises or the everyday terraces that we see, right? What actually inspires your architectural design? Like when you outsource this thing, or you're actively involved in the whole process? And then what actually inspires your name? Because when I research your name, I'm like, you're having Giuliano, Medici, Leonardo. I'm like, and even the name Sujimoto, like, it's not it doesn't sound Nigerian, right? So
the first question, there are different types of real estate developers.
Yeah.
There are some people that just buy houses, just build a square building, and they just sell it. And they have a good business model. And because I read a lot, I was able to understand that greatness is created by paying patience. And there is no way you can create anything to become great without adequately going as deep as possible into them. Creating a building is
100%.
like having a child.
Yeah.
You don't want just to build any building.
Yeah.
You want to study the best of the best architects of the world.
Yeah.
And what were they thinking at the time when they were building? I want to study the people that have impacted Earth in the world. And what were they doing at the building? And one of my biggest mentors was Cosimo de' Medici. Cosimo de' Medici was the 16th century, not only the richest man in the world, but also a man that had already invested so much into art. He was the one that discovered Michelangelo. He was the one that discovered Da Vinci, and so many others. He was the father of Lorenzo de' Medici, and he discovered so many incredible architects in Florence of those days. And we also realized that he was one of the patriots of architecture, one of the people that created the philosophy of patience and the philosophy of simplicity, and how to bring complexity, mix complexity and simplicity in architecture. So when I studied him, he became my virtual mentor. So I said that in honor to him, my first building in Nigeria would call the Medici, though a very small development on Milton, so we called it the Medici. Our second development that we planned was called the Lorenzo, the first son of Cosimo de' Medici. Then our other departments, Giuliano, Lucrezia. For example, we are the Lucrezia. The Lucrezia de' Medici was not only the daughter of Lorenzo, but also one of the most prestigious ladies of the 16th, 17th century. So we studied her lifestyle. She was very robust, very beautiful woman. Men and women used to travel from different parts of Europe just to come and study her lifestyle. So we studied her. I told my architect in Dubai and those in Singapore that we want to create a building that would stand the test of time. That no matter who you are as a human being, when you pass in front of that building, you have a wow, that wow moment. And that's why we created Lucrezia. We now mixed it with the customer perception of Nigeria.
Wow, this is impressive.
They don't want to live in apartments. So what we did is that we created maisonettes, created cubes of maisonettes, just like the body of Lucrezia, and we stacked them on each other. So in building the Lucrezia de' Medici in Banana, we built it from the perception and the concept and the idea and the lifestyle of Lucrezia de' Medici. And that's why we call her Lucrezia de' Medici.
This is impressive. This is really, really impressive. Really, really impressive.
And that's why you can stand 5 kilometers away. If you spot the Lucrezia, you know she's the one. And I believe that it's the building that would change the architectural, skyline of Ikoyi. Because we have dedicated so many things into it. We have introduced GRC, which is glass reinforcement concrete, the first of its kind in Nigeria, to give the building, to make it stand the test of time. And in the next 100 years, the building will still be the same.
I know you kept mentioning Lorenzia. I hope I'm getting this name right. Lucrezia. Right. So is this the most interesting project you have done, or is there a project that you like?
Lucrezia Sujimotos. Let me see if I can actually get that one.
Building the Lucrezia de' Medici in Banana, we built it from the perception and the concept and the idea and the lifestyle of Lucrezia de' Medici. And that's why we call
right, but the first thing I want to talk about is the structures that you build. They're not like the everyday high rises or the everyday terraces that we see, right? What actually inspires?
Let me see. Let me see this.
When the night has come,
I'll go back to the story, but just want to check this.
And the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me.
Bro, this is
so
massive. Wow.
Stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by.
Oh, this is massive. And this is in Nigeria. Wow. Wow. Buy or rent the last 4-bedroom. Sujimotos. So yeah, that's massive. That's great. Let's continue our story. Let's go back.
Like it's the most passionate for you? And the second question leading to that is, I know you mentioned that location doesn't actually have anything to do with luxury, right? But why did you choose to build in Banana Island? I mean, why not you take the whole brand to Ikorodu and transform Ikorodu to its own Dubai?
Well, that's a funny question, because you have to put it where those that you service would have the resources to be able to afford it. Okay. Now you could have, this plan to maybe at some point do low-cost housing, but low-cost housing is not going to pay you that premium that you are putting into the houses. What happens if you build all these things in that place, a corridor or whatever, and then you have nobody to buy from you? So again, you have to look at the per capita GDP by location.
Why did you choose Banana Island?
We keep developing ourselves every day.
Yeah.
And, this today is our most recent project, but we have so many other projects in pipeline. We have the Queen Amina. The Queen Amina is from Zaria. The Queen Amina, we studied. She was a warrior. She was what you called the 17th century female mafia. Call her female mafia. The uncommon, women of those days. And this was a man in a woman's body that she led men, thousands of warriors, and became a phenomenon in the northern part. So what we did is we studied her regaya, and we should know when she's on it. So we used it to create an architectural masterpiece that curved, and that's going to be in Abuja by the grace of God. It's a 30-story building. We've already designed it. We should start construction from next year. Then we have the Leonardo. The Leonardo for us is going to be the tallest residential building in Lagos, and we have the waterfront property, and we've added so many other things around it to make it become not only a Nigerian phenomenon but a global phenomenon. The way we build, we want to say, what are people doing in Singapore? We have a 55-story building coming in Dubai. Will be the first African to stamp our architectural stamp of authority in the middle of downtown in Dubai. A 5-story building that combines hospitality, residential, and exclusive retail. We have that in the pipeline. So many other projects like that. The first rule of real estate is location. So real estate can be lower middle income, and high luxury and super high luxury. We are in the super high luxury. So if I was building middle income, I would choose the location and identify the location that has got to do with my target audience. So in understanding the Nigerians, every Nigerian wants to live in Banana Island. And location are the three fundamental rules of luxury real estate and of even real estate in general. So we think for our customers, where can we build a building that will stand the test of time and give a higher return on investment for our customers, and the value of that property will remain for life. And don't forget, I told you that where you situate a property has to do with the value of the property. It will increase the value of it or decrease it. So you can have the most beautiful villa in Ijebu, or you can have the most beautiful villa in Banana Island. The most beautiful villa in Ijebu can cost you maybe 300 million naira to build it, but you have it on a property, on a land that is worth 5 million naira. Or you can take that, you can uproot that same 300 million naira and bring it to Banana Island and the land worth 1 billion. Automatically it shoots the price up to over 200%. So for us, location was very important. And not only Banana Island, we needed a location where we can identify ourselves and where we can stamp our authority and where we can be visible. So those are the things that were very important for us as a company. My passion is not in mass housing. My passion is in luxury.
Tego, you're saying this because you just keep answering the question I want to ask. I was going to ask you if in the future, or probably, I don't know, when you're ready to retire, you would ever in your life think of an affordable project so that the middle class or the lower middle would have a taste of the Sujimoto brand, even in the future, if that is ever going to cross your mind, considering the housing deficit in the country as well,
Absolutely. So people keep talking about the housing deficit and everything, and we are in the higher upper class of real estate industry. However, so out of the quest, a lot of people have been telling us to please build this, that, so no problem. So we are building something called the Sujimoto Smart City. The Sujimoto Smart City, we are building the best infrastructure when it comes to creating a city. It will take a lot for any kind of person to have the gods to do what we're about to do. The same way we have implemented luxury into building, we are bringing the same thing into infrastructure. And we're creating lands where they become affordable. Okay. So we are building a city that will have its own mini airport, that will have its own polo club, that will have its own golf course, that will have over 100 artificial lakes. Then we'll now create land from 500 square meters to 1,000 square meters where people can afford and build them. So we might not be able to build them, but we will appoint them to people who train developers that understand the mindset and our blueprint, and they follow those blueprints. So this is the way of coming back to society and making sure we give back and let people have a taste.
That answers the question for you guys that you want to really have a taste of what Sujimoto brings to the table.
Yeah. So again, I think that.
So my next question, I don't know if you're aware of this, but when I was actually.
Yeah. So I think that at some point, okay, this happens. Like if you've seen great developers and all that, this happens all the time. Now, I don't know at what point that E and EFCC, I started having this back and forth, and for them to have invited him and declared him wanted. Now they declare him wanted, not even inviting him. I don't know at what point that started. Now, that being said, to a good extent, at least this guy is trying, and we've seen the properties, we've seen stuffs. Real estate is no play. Go and ask about the Akon City. Have you heard about the Akon City? I don't know if you've heard about that. Akon City. That project, till tomorrow, nothing to show up. Nothing to show for it. So again, I'm like, I understand, I believe that he should just, go in, face whatever music, learn from his mistakes. Possibly don't just take, jobs that you don't even have any clue on.
Going online to research about you, see what people are saying about you. I went on some forums and people were saying, Sujimoto, he's a hype man, he brags a lot, because there was an interview, I don't know, sometime in 2019, you said something like, you are the Rolls Royce of real estate in Nigeria, and you also said if you were to be a musician, you would be the GEJ. People were like, I beg, let's hear. So, in as much as that is working in your favor, because I want us to learn some things about your PR.
Absolutely.
So, I know a lot of business people will be watching this video. Absolutely. What do you have to teach us about PR? Basically, saying something, even though you are not that thing at that point, but working your way up there.
Absolutely. So, I think I had the opportunity to meet Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai. If you study a country like Dubai, a land full of sand and wrapped in gold and sold it to the world. Today, they've transformed themselves from a land of sands and camel to a city of marbles and towers. They did this in the space of 20 to 30 years. This philosophy of marketing yourself, and shouting about yourself and saying what you want to do and transferring your passion and vision to the public. When Martin Luther King said, I had a dream that one day, everybody will be equal. If he hadn't said that and pursued it, would have Barack Obama ever be president? When Jimovia in the 70s or...
Well, on Barack Obama, I'm not even sure if... That's one thing again that I come to understand about all these right activists. Like Barack Obama was not a good president at all. In all metrics, he didn't even do anything for the blacks. So again, I kind of understand the context of what he's talking about, but I just wanted to chip that.
80s, said he wanted to build the best bank in Nigeria. We would say he was bragging to them. I believe that if you have a product and you are persuaded and convinced that this product is a great product, you have to shout about it. You have to become annoying about it. And that's what we become. When we started the Sujimoto brand, people said, na hype. We created the hype is real through the contribution of so many pessimists. Saying na hype. But a lot of them, one day, one of them came and said, this hype is real.
It's real, yeah.
But that's how we created na hype is real.
Yeah.
But I personally believe that you can be selling pure water or you can be selling Rolls Royce. When you have a product and you're convinced that this product is the best, you have to scream about it. You cannot sell what you don't have passion for.
Yeah.
Passion is the passport for champions. If you don't have passion for what you do, you cannot. You find it extremely difficult to succeed.
Yeah.
And it also boils back to yourself. You are one of the best YouTubers in Nigeria. It's not as if you do well, because when you got in touch with me, I had to Google research you, I had my team to look at you. And we saw that you use the best quality of what you do. You put passion in everything you do.
That's great.
Go You go extreme and to extra mile to make sure you create quality.
yeah.
So what we are doing
that's good.
is not necessarily PR. We are doing what we love.
And we have a lot of people in diaspora. You said you left France to come back home. I actually interviewed an American. He was in Nigeria, he left and came back again. You know, when people in diaspora that have, you know, they want to come back home and start a business and help also, but they keep thinking of the limitation. Oh, Nigeria, as you say, they keep hearing scary things on the news. We don't have light. And you know, you did it, you left France, you came here, and you're building an empire right here. So what advice do you have to say for people in diaspora that really have an idea, that really think that would be very beneficial to not just Nigeria, but Africa as a whole, but they keep thinking of limitations?
Nigeria is the best corporate jungle in the world. I've lived everywhere in the world, and there's nowhere like Nigeria. Nigeria is the only place where a Lebanese man will leave his country, being a project manager, become a major contractor. You know,
is that not a problem? Is that not a problem? Have this guy just coming in with no? I think there should be some level of I'll call it quality control with what we put into the country. I don't for one buy that. People just come in and do as they like. He might have said this in good faith, but again, Nigeria should not be the place where anybody can just do anyhow and then they go, because that's what happens. And I'm not talking about him specifically. Now, in the light of this new stuff, I think that is most of this problem is just more of risk management. It's not like he stole certain money. I think it was just risk management. And if you've actually done business in Nigeria, especially this last 2 years, I would tell you it's been excruciating. Now, the country is turning the corner. If you know what you're doing, this is the time where you should now start benefiting from some of those reforms and all that. But then you've got to know what you're doing. You have to.
An Indian can leave his country as a storekeeper and become a manufacturer only in this country. So there's enormous opportunity in our nation.
Yeah.
We must convert our complaints to concrete ideas and transfer ourselves from being ideologists to actually become performers of those ideas. I hate it when I see young people ranting on social media. I'm saying that time they used to rant, I convert it into creating an idea. It's extremely difficult to live in Nigeria. You have to convert that difficulty into opportunity. Where people see a bare land, see a skyscraper. You know, and one of the things we've also done for diaspora is that we've created an investment opportunity for them, where you might not have 1 billion naira to buy one of our units, but you have 100 million, which is less than $200,000, or you have 10 million, which is less than $20,000. You can invest it with us, just like treasury bills, and you get secured return on investment. We have so many investors from America, from London.
So again, that's another thing, right? How now, in the light of his recent dilemma, how is he even meeting up with those returns expectations? Now that's a big question. Are his investors now at a very great risk, because they might say, you know what, I want to start calling in my investments. Now I cannot just put something in here because I want to get it back. Now it's high risk now. So again, it becomes a bigger problem for him because he doesn't even know, right? Like, he needs to raise capital. And then it becomes a bigger problem.
From Canada that say, you know what, Suji, I have this money here, but I don't know what to do with it. It might not be able to pay for a house, but we trust your brand, hold it. And we've paid back so many other ones, just like treasury bills. We give high returns, and the concept of Sujimoto investment
is the high returns that is promising to give. Is the high return now a problem? Is the high return now a bigger problem? Because for you to bring your money into Nigeria, number one, you're looking at the currency risk. You're looking at inflation. The value of your money, is it being eroded? Okay, those are the things you look at. Now, with respect to his new recent issues with EFCC, will investors start saying, you know what, I'm out? And if investor says I'm out, how does he even fulfill those obligations or those call for capital? That's crazy.
give people the opportunity to have a co-sharing, like a profit sharing mechanism, where we say, you know what, we have the idea, we have the project, we'll build it. You might not be able to chart out 1 billion naira today, but your 100 million naira, give it to us. At the end of 1 year or 2 years, we'll give you a return on investment. There's a lot of business opportunities here. There is nowhere in Africa that has the potential that this nation has, and I believe that you know, if you persevere, what God cannot do does not exist in this nation. You know?
Awesome.
So that is my message.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys have learned quite a number of things, and for the 1% watching this video that wants to come here and buy a property, do the investment, all of that, I'm going to put their website in the description section and the number you can call in. They're going to give that number to me, and we're going to make that happen for you, right? So thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, that was 2021. 2021. Wow. That was 2021. So 4 years later, he's now in this problem. Again, and I think this him again also with Taiwo, I know, right? No, it's 44 now, so it can be. How a 32-year-old built. Yeah, possibly. I think it might be the one. I'm not so sure. Wow. Again, you know, it's just it. You know, that's him again, Sujimotos. Yeah, a lot of stories, a lot of hypes. Now, he's got his challenge, and I think that at this point in time, it's difficult. Like if you go through people that have, you know, gone through a lot, and now they're, you know, they're now just trying to get themselves back. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so that's that about that. I don't think he's a thief, you know. But then again, when you're doing business, it's crazy. This is him with Sujimotos, I believe. Thanks for again to Sujimoto Construction. Let me see. I'm gonna increase the font of this. Yeah, 200 is good. Okay. Thanks again to Sujimoto's Construction for having me. This was also in 2014. Wow, 11 years. Wow, she used. Yeah, I guess this was when she started. Crazy. Okay, so that's that about that. Let me see again. Anything latest about that? Wow, the news is now going across Africa. See, Zeal News Africa, bro. That's crazy. I'm not a fugitive. He vanished with the money. So Enugu state government is saying he vanished with the money. How true is that? Like, do we even have the schools? Like, do we even have like the contract done so far on those schools? Because I'm not seeing anything. Let me see. He vanished with the money. I'm not a thief. I'm not a fugitive. He declared. Let me see that. Yeah. We don't have anything on that, but it's okay. It's fine. Yeah. Well, I'll keep following the story to see how it goes. Again, that's that about that. Your crocodile tears won't save. Your crocodile tears won't save you. We're talking about the future of our children. What does it mean? And you must give a proper account of the money collected to build a smart school for them. Enugu State government speaks on Sujimoto for avoidance of doubts. So this is Enugu State story. This is cool. For the avoidance of doubt, on July 2nd, 2024, just a year ago, the state government awarded 11 billion, that's a lot of money, 475 930,000 to Sujimotos Luxury Construction Limited for the construction of 22 smart schools. Buildings only in 6 months, starting from the date of the acceptance of the. So you've got 11 billion. That's 500 million average for each school. What? $500 million for each school. Is that too much or not? Then it says the ENUGU state government paid the sum of 5, so giving him 50%. Rather than play to the rules of the contract to deliver quality project for furnishing and equipping ahead of September 2025. So it was expected to deliver those projects this month ahead of this resumption. Let's assume way before. Okay. In line with the priority placed on the Smart Green School initiative by the government, Mr. Otedola resorted to shoddy jobs and the use of inexperienced workers and quack engineers. Wow. None of the sites met the structural integrity of the project as specified in the structural drawings. Who made the drawings? At what point? Like, again, I wouldn't have expected that you want him to build 22 smart schools. Maybe I'm going to try him with 5 first. Maybe I'm going to, he said he hasn't done any of this project before. And it's clear that wasn't his area of expertise. So maybe they would have given him 5. Let's use this as the prototype. 11 billion is not a small money. This is money for the states. What still, it vanished into thin air with the money. But the guy said he was always going there every day for some time. So then he was doing certain things. It's just that he didn't do it well. So again, I don't understand how we say it vanished into thin air with the money when the government is saying that none of these sites met the structural integrity of the project as specified in the structural drawing. So it was doing something. It was just that it didn't actually meet the standard required. He equally refused to attend the periodic project briefing organized by the state. If this is true, then he has a big problem.
So, you're ready.
Maybe he got into this project, not knowing what's up. At some point, I'm going to read this again. I must have been on mute for. For the avoidance of doubt, on July 2, 2024, the ENUGU state government awarded a contract in sum of 11 billion to Sujimotos Luxury Construction Limited for the construction of 22 smart schools, building only in 6 months. So it was given the project July. It was expected by January, it's done with the project, or was still by December. The ENUGU state government paid him 5 billion, representing 50% of the contract sum, so as to fast track the project. Rather than play to the rules of the contract to deliver quality project for furnishing and equipping ahead of September 2025 school resumption, in line with the priority placed on the Smart Green School initiative, Mr. Otedola resorted to shoddy jobs and the use of inexperienced workers and quack engineers. None of the site met the structural integrity of the project as specified in the structural building. Now, for him to have been able to build that, all these stuffs, all these luxury stuffs that we've talked about, how on earth would he have actually gone to use quack engineers? What still, it vanished into thin air with money. All efforts made by the government to get him the round table to discuss the quality and progress of work proved abortive. He equally refused to attend the periodic briefing. Okay? A joint team of officers of the Enugu State Ministry of Work and Infrastructure and the EFCC visited the 22 sites to evaluate the progress of the work on May 8 and 9, 2025. That's like 3 months ago. Right? Yeah. where it was established that there had been minimal to no significant work done at the said site 1 year after the contract award. In some cases, the fraudulent did not do excavation from all the blocks in the site. Wow. Wow. It's on record, okay, that he has not shown up at the site or made himself available to either the state government or the law enforcement agency even after those sites visit. It is pertinent to state that it was discovered in the course of investigation that whereas he presented a bond from Jay's bank, he used Sujimoto's Luxury Construction Limited Zenith Bank account number. Yeah, but the state government should have known this, right? It was discovered in the course of investigation. I presented a bond from Jay's bank, but then used the Zenith Bank account number to receive said payment and draw upon the fund without deploying it to the project. This clearly shows premeditated intent to defraud the state. How been issue. Government has since retaken and handed over the site to a new firm who has no choice than to start the construction afresh. Tremendous progress has been made to keep the determination of the MBA administration to migrate ENUGU's children to smart green schools by September on track. So this is September. Have they been able to do that? Or is just another way to siphon more money? Nigeria should therefore disregard these theatrics and crocodile tears as ENUGU state government is determined to and will surely recover all penny of Indi ENUGU fraudulently obtained by Mr. Olashijibomi. Wow. Wow. So this is the guy commissioned for information. He needs to go clear himself. Yeah, he needs to. He needs to go clear himself. Now that they've spoken, it's now up for them to determine what next. Oh, this is the guy again.
What's going
I think the guy should just go off social media and go clear his name.
on my site? And I woke up in the morning, I went to our first site. It was a very long road. Though the road is beautiful, and as usual, the Enugu people are always joyful. I went through our first site. On getting there, I met Engineer Collins, and it was very impressive as they've done so much work. They've out of the 6 blocks, they've gone to DPC level, and I see that things are going exciting and everything. Though it took us 2 hours to get there with an extremely bad road.
Nigeria.
But by the time we got here, it was so beautiful. Lots of nature, beautiful hills surrounding the school. Though it's a very new site, we just got here a couple of days ago, but I met with the engineer Benga, one of the most experienced engineer, and he's doing a great job here. So that's what I did there. And from there, I was on my way, and before I know it, the bulletproof car that we hired, the driver mistakenly hit the hillocks, bombarded the hillocks front, left, center. That we had no time. As people were arguing that it wasn't my fault, it was my fault. I had no time. I was thinking about how to reach over 10 sites today. I've jumped into my Korokwe. I called the other site to send us a car. There's no car available, so we jumped into Korokwe. I jumped into Korokwe. We were able to visit 2 sites. The other site, the DPC level is quite impressive too, but they have some material they're waiting for, so it is delaying them from reaching their true potential. So now we are here, we're finished from here, and as we're going back, I decided to stop in the famous Eazy market, one of the biggest markets, 2.5 hours away from Enugu State. But it's very impressive how you can see people from the state. They're very enterprising, always moving, always joyful, people doing their businesses and extremely busy, just like the Balogun market in Lagos. But it's exciting. You see the incredible Igbo people. No matter where you find them, in the sun, in the desert, in the villages, they're always looking for opportunities to visit. So I decided to go and buy some water, and boom, before I know it, my other Lexus car is here so that I can jump on and continue my day. Thank you, and this is Sujimoto from Enugu.
Okay, so that's it. So he's here now replying. I went to Enugu with nothing but a good heart, the desire to build, to uplift, to leave behind something greater than myself. Even when life tested me with an accident that almost broke me, I stayed because commitment is not convenient. It is sacrifice. Today I stand before you as not as a perfect man, but as a man of truth. My only defense is integrity, and my greatest witness is the work I've done. In the end, time will separate noise from truth. Until then, I remain steadfast because my intentions were pure and my conscience is clear. Again, you have to go tell EFCC that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where this would lead to, but again, it says, yeah, this is what Enugu state government said, and we'll see what happens. Okay, that's that about that. I'm gonna move on. At this point, I have nothing more to add. I just wish him the best of luck, as he tries to navigate this major setback in his business. It is what it is. Let's go. Okay, Otedola. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Ajibade. So Eazy, I think he's a musician, right? Got married to Temi Otedola. Let's look at this.
You found a great guy, very great guy, blessed guy. He's come from a very decent family.
Decent family. Okay.
One thing I'll advise you to me is you have to succumb to the whims and caprices of your husband. Okay? He's your husband, he's your boss. There's no more dad, you don't call me up. So, one thing I like about both of you and I've observed is you're truly in love with each other. Truly, truly in love with each other. Temi is an entrepreneur. Pussy is an entrepreneur. So you match each other. This is made in heaven. For Tosin,
some few dollars.
You're going to go places. I've seen the entrepreneurial skill in you. When we were much younger, we think we used to hustle, but not like your generation. Yeah, hustlers, real hustlers. And it's always paid off. Continue to love Temi. When you have issues, problems, just keep it within yourself. Never call any friend, I have this problem. Just keep it within your walls. And God will bless you and bless your marriage. I thank you all, and I wish you safe travels back to where various places you've come from. God bless you all. I love you all. Thank you. Finally, I still have something for you. I wanted you to walk here before announcing it. Now, I thought of what should I give this couple as a present? Thought.
Okay. Wait for it.
I've spent on my savings account, so the other day I bring my gift. So this gift I'll present to you. You go out to the world, you're both entrepreneurs, how to think, how to maneuver, and how to spend them. And you'll be great people. And this is my gift for you. Beautiful. Where's the tea?
What is it?
You know, when it's not every day that you receive this kind of powerful gift. So I want to see what is this in front of everybody.
His book.
Make me big.
About your style. Publicize his book. Okay. There's been a lot of story and a lot of theory behind that book, but it's fine. Yeah, this is with the dad and mom. See this one. Oh, this is a big one. Yeah, let's see.
Those who know. I want to introduce my father, my mentor, my G. Emperor, Mr. Femi Otedola. Put your hands together right now. Come on, keep putting your hands together till he comes. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Thank you, my son. Good evening, everyone. Destiny prevails. I'm extremely delighted to have you all here today to mark this memorable occasion. We miss Mrs. Ifeoma Ajibade. May her gentle soul continue to rest in peace. God knows best. In 2017, precisely about 8 years ago, Temi said she wanted to introduce me to Tosin. Said, no problem, bring him. So he came, I saw his dreadlocks. I looked at him and I said, well, but something struck me that day.
Wow.
They call me the prophet, so I have that very strong intuition. Something struck me that I say, this is Temi's husband. 8 years after, the dream has come true. Congratulations.
That was a good one. Okay.
I must give credit to Nana, because when we had Temi, I was busy hustling, looking for money to look after them. And she sacrificed everything, all my bad habits, to make sure they were well looked after and spent every minute with them. Before I go on, I want to also most sincerely thank some of my special guests there, Anila and Ritidra, Shanka and Sinotu, Sunita, Mr. Tunde Folawiyo, Reni Folawiyo. 50 years ago, Tunde's late father was probably the richest man in Africa. Alhaji Chief Folawiyo, he opened my eyes to what we call today chop lie. Tunde, thank you very much. Samad Rabio, I remember my junior brother is here, Timi. He went to the same school with Samad. I remember 50 years ago, Timi came back from Kano and said, hey, brother Femi, you know what? I said, what? There's one guy in our school, Mr. Samad Rabio. He has a Honda car. Honda, really? I said, yes. His father bought him a Honda 50 years ago. Samad, I'm very proud of your success and your achievements.
Wow.
Today's chairman, Alhaji Aliko Dangote. When he was rounding up his speech, I thought he was going to say, okay, all these beautiful people here, I should give you all $10 million. We're 100 there. Ali, that would have cost you $1 billion out of $80 billion. You still have 79 left. $40 years ago, I used to, of course, know of a car they call a Rolls Royce. We're living on ENUGU State. Aliko was living in Chilakaku. So on Sundays, I would just take a walk. Of course, he didn't know me. I would take a walk to his house and look at the Rolls Royce. 40 years ago. Aliko, like I always tell you, you're the miracle man. God has used you to make Nigeria a great country.
Wow, yeah.
Temi, what I have in common with Temi is very spiritual. Extremely spiritual. Spiritual bond. This wedding, I can tell you for nothing. As well, they call me a prophet is blessed. Blessed by God. I'll tell you 2 incidents why I'm saying it's blessed. We were going to have the engagement in Dubai, in my house in Dubai, and there was a war between Israel and Iran, and they fired a missile to Qatar 10 days before the wedding. And I thought of it. I was a bit worried. I said, so it means we're going to cancel the engagement. I said, no, it will happen. We'll see how it's going to play out with God. And God said, no, we're going to bless this. And it happened. This tent we are in, last week, I just saw a video. There was a storm and it blew away the whole tent. I said, what? A week to the wedding. I said, Tosin, go and get all the 747s in this world and let them bring in you tents, whatever they're going to build. We must hold this ceremony today. And God, look at you. Can imagine if this had happened 2 days before. So this is blessed by God. I always go to Dubai. So this is the December 2.5 years ago. Temi called me. Papa, what are you doing? I said, Papa, let's go to Dubai. So we got on the plane. We got to Dubai. There's this guy that has been showing me properties in Dubai for the last 15 years. I never bought. I go to Emirates, so I must have looked at least, I'm not exaggerating, at least 70 properties. I never bought any. So I now called up the guy when Dubai, like sightseeing. Let's see what's in the market. So we go to Dubai Hills. So we saw this beautiful house where we had the engagement. And Temi said to me, Papa, you know, I can have my engagement ceremony in this house. Why didn't you buy it? That was all she said. She doesn't talk much, but very deep. Yeah. So I got home. I slept over it. I said, I'm going to spend all this money on this house? Something else struck me that, come on, Femi, you know what? Money you don't spend is not yours. Life is for the living. So I called up the agent. I said, okay, I'll buy the house. So I bought it. 8 months ago, on the same street, the agent called me again that there was another house they just completed. I wanted to look at it. I said, why not? So when I looked at it, it's a beautiful house, but I have a house, of course. Then Temi came to visit me. Again, I said, Temi, there's one house. Let's go look at it. I like looking at houses with Temi and copy and so. Temi, I said, Papa, you know, this house will be nice for our after party. I say, you're very unserious. Anyway, to make our peace, I bought it. On the same street.
Oh boy. Money good though. Just go like that. Okay, this one I'll buy it. And this is not a $1 million stuff. Mad money, right? Mad money, bro. Just go like you see this one, you like it, you buy it. Let me use the word of Chris Oyakilome. I will never be poor in my life.
So we had the after party there. Temi, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. You found a great guy, very great guy, blessed guy. He's come from a very decent family. One thing I'll advise you, Temi, is you have to succumb to the whims and caprices of your husband.
Yeah, listen to this one. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I found a great and blessed guy from a decent family. Yeah, keep your issues with yourself. Okay, Dangote.
And
everyone wants to hear what Dangote is saying, right?
Iceland is a very special place. In fact, this is my first time here.
Wow.
I've traveled all over the world, but not Iceland. So, Femi, thank you for for opening my eyes to come to Iceland. Actually, I've been sleeping since the time that I arrived here. I know this wedding really is so special. I had to cancel so many events to be here because Temi is a very, very special person to the family. And I think, Tosin, you are very, very lucky that you have a great wife, somebody who is very, very entrepreneurial, somebody who really wants to be on her own right from childhood. Temi doesn't really want to count on her father's money. You know, when you have a father like Femi, you have to be tough. I know you are tough, even though you are looking you always look very calm. But I know you are tough. and you should continue to make us proud. Tosin, you know, you are a part-time singer, but you are an entrepreneur. In fact,
I don't even think he's singing anymore.
Was with you guys yesterday. We did not talk about music. We always, we were just talking about business. 17 countries or 8.
That's how the rich makes it. When in that cycle, they're talking about the next thing, the next big thing, what is happening. Meanwhile, some people are just on Twitter yabbing everybody. I'm telling you, that's how they make it. That's how they make it. To be honest with you.
10 countries in Africa. I never knew that you had business in 18 countries in Africa, but I must really congratulate you for being a great guy, and we are really, really very, very proud of you. Femi is not really my friend only, he's my brother. Wherever I see me, you see Femi. So he's my very, very, very good friend and a brother.
Is this not this
if there's any brother
guy
that I have,
okay,
you know, that's not the same mother or father, that brother is Femi. So I'm really, really very delighted today. I know that Femi is the happiest person today on earth for really seeing Temi being married to Tosin. And I think Tosin, our daughter, is very, very lucky to have somebody like you, very calm. In fact, I don't know of any musician who is an entrepreneur, very calm, low-headed like you. So we thank God for your
who is he talking about? Musicians, you know them, like calm.
Knowing that the two of you are always very charming, very entrepreneurial, I'm sure in the next few years we will take a back seat and call you the richest people on earth.
Oh, nice.
But really, honestly, I must really thank, as the chairman of this occasion, I must thank each and every one of you for having time to fly all the way. Iceland is not a normal place to visit. So obviously, most of us were actually, you know, veered off to come down here. I mean, it took us, 8.5 hours from Nigeria. And from this reception, after making sure that everybody is happy, I'm flying straight to Miami for another wedding.
Wow.
But this is the most important wedding this year, and I think is the greatest wedding. I can't really imagine how Temi sat and designed all this. So Temi, thank you so much for making this place. I mean, you can see the scenery of the whole Disney. You can see clouds all over the mountains. And I think really this will be a very historic wedding. So thank you very much, Femi, for bringing out that big check to make sure that you make this our children very, very happy. And I'm sure you are going to have an amazing family. And I wish you all the very best. Good. I mean, wait, before I even say that, I want to advise something. Please, I know that you have a lot of friends, but you know, once you get married, you drop friends and now just be between two of you. Don't get your affairs, don't discuss your affairs with anybody. Whatever it is, sort it out within yourselves. And you've been together for a while. So I'm sure this will be the best wedding in town. So I wish you all the very best. And I'm sure within the next 1 year or so, I will give you a very big party for the first child coming on board.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, well.
So you have to choose where we are going to celebrate that child, whether it's London, whether it's Iceland. Maybe you come back here. We don't know. Huh? Well, they said Greenland. Are you okay with that? USA. Wherever, maybe Miami. We'll go to Miami and just have fun and celebrate the new baby. So thank you very much all for coming. And I want to thank the Ajibade's family and, my friend here, Mr. Femi Otedola and Nana, for really allowing this union to happen. It's the greatest thing that has happened this year. So thank you very much indeed.
Oh, that's it. Okay. I wish them the best in their lives, and yeah, I hope everything works out for them, and I hope yeah, that things looks good. Okay, that's that about that. The beautiful bride. Okay, yeah. I guess she's the prettiest of the whole clan, right? I think she is. It is. Whoa. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. These are the sisters. Okay, I think this is the one that don't really talk. Okay, this is a copy, right? What is this? So perfect. Can't be like say she bribed God. She bribe God. Yeah. Okay. That's that about that. What's this one say? Let's see this.
What if I recorded every day of my life forever, but today I'm getting legally married? Guys, I cannot believe you're going to come along with me today on my court day. So I started the day at the crack of dawn. This was like 5:30 a.m. in Monaco. Of course, we start the day with our devotional, some prayer, some stretching. It was going to be a long day, and I just wanted to get my mindset ready. I was actually like I wasn't nervous. Like I was just feeling peaceful. I was feeling calm. Like the whole way through Glam, I was just yapping, feeling excited. I had my dream team with me. So we had Harold on makeup and Rio on hair. These guys are literally the best energy, best vibe. And look at my makeup. Like, can we get into this glam? So had a little break from glam, and I had my go-to snack. One thing about me is that I always have a fixation food, and right now it's like a salmon blini with caviar. It was time to put my veil on. It was time to get dressed. This is like just Team Temi plus Carrie, my stylist, our video team, photo team, everyone who worked with us in our wedding was so amazing. Just the best vibes. Yes, that is the icon, the legend, Mr. Jose Villa. And they were just getting me prepped and ready, final touches, because it was time to meet my husband. We had a first look in my living room. So he just came to pick me up. We finally got to see each other's outfits, guys. So like
It's a
when
Rolls
we were
Royce,
getting
guys.
our outfits together, we didn't know what each other were wearing. So it was such a surprise. We drove to the Marie. So we got married in the Marie de Monaco. Of course, my French accent had to come out. We we legalized. Oh my gosh, like we're actually married now. Well, we were legally married at least. It was just the two of us, no family, no friends. So like it was just a secret day of getting that paper signed. And after court, we headed to this beautiful villa called Villa La Vigie. We weren't ready to just like go home yet. We wanted to really celebrate the day. And you know, I love an outfit change. Like, yes, it was my civil wedding, but we changed 3 times. This polka dot moment was everything. And we just took some more photos, sipped champagne, and my husband tried to drive me away in this vintage Porsche. But the sun was setting. It was time to head back to our house and just get a little touch up, because yeah, I'm gonna have a third change, like glam and everything. So I wore the same corset I wore to court and just put a little tutu on it, and we went out for our first date night as a legally married couple. We just headed over to the Hotel de Paris, which is like our favorite hotel in Monaco, and we had a private little dinner. I'll see you guys in the next wedding. Bye.
Wow, that's it. Okay. I wish them the best. Yeah, I wish them the That's good. Let me see if there's anything really happening right now. I think I've Mr. Eazy causing problem in feminist coffin. Lobster versus butcher. What's this? I don't know why I keep getting. Yeah. Women don't respect broke men. My wife doesn't respect me because my. Imagine you have to watching that display of wealth, and this is what you look. This is what Twitter is trying to serve you. See what my wife did this morning. Why do when there's women who don't have money? I'm not gonna watch this. Okay, I left my house employed and turned unemployed. Okay, yeah. Okay, nothing much is really happening here. I'm gonna go back to this one. Let's see that. Okay. Did you guys hear the news of this guy that unalived the girlfriend after so many years? After breaking up with her? Yeah, I saw that story and it's crazy. It's really crazy. Wow. This guy is saying that, you know, do you all have one thing in common? Do they all have one thing in common? Sorry. And then this is like these all it says they all supported religious by God. I don't know that. Obedience. Wow. Wow. I just want to see like yeah. Let's see if I can see this story. Yeah, that's this guy by his girlfriend. And it just got on back on Twitter August 30. Wow. Lindex Africa. Wow. That's really bad. Again, just have to be careful, right? You have to go for easy, right? Crazy. Let me see. The APC government refused GRV access to the venue. GRV is officially set to decamp to the ADC today. Okay, so GRV, that's Gbadebo. It was the the governorship candidate for Lagos under the AP umbrella. GRV acquired and fully paid for a venue in Alimosho for the event. Plans were in top gear, and by Thursday evening, everything was set. But since Thursday night, the government mobilized Agberos. Can we stop this? Let them gather, take over the video. When GRV visited the venue to request why they conduct of the area, the heavily armed police officer told him there was an order from above, and that he needed to see the commissioner of police. He did. However, last night, okay, guys, listen. They sent the army, the DSS, to join forces with the police and further militarize that zone. They restricted movement and refused even the resident passage. To cover up for their evil agenda, very late last night, they set out a circular calling for an emergency APC meeting at the same venue. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is evil agenda. The APC government is dramatizing in Alimosho currently. The aim is to ensure that GRV doesn't hold his defection event. Let him go ahead and hold. If you're so sure of what you've done and what you've accomplished, then why are you scared of someone that is even decamping to a party that is still yet to be formed? This is crazy. This is really crazy. I didn't even know this. Wow. Knocked APC police over that meeting. Okay, that was 6th again. This is to inform our dedicated general announcement. This is to inform our dedicated party member that APC Almosho Federal Constituency will hold tomorrow, Saturday, using the same building, according to this guy. Now, that hasn't been confirmed, that's alleged. But again, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Wow. What the hell? Today in Lagos, police sealed Lion Field in Almasha ahead of the event for GRV, declaration for APC. Then the fallback venue was disrupted again by suspected thugs, allegedly working alongside security operative, leaving his personal photographer personally injured. This is wrong. I don't care which party you belong to. I don't care where you come from, no matter what. Political intolerance in Lagos is condemnable, given antecedents documented by credible observers during the 2023 polls in Lagos. Many Nigerians now view this recurring disruption as state-sponsored violence. If the APC-led government in Lagos believes that they delivered both at the state and federal level, should there be a need to chase the opposition up and down? Shouldn't good work be able to win the people over on their own? Exactly. I mean, you've done the rail lines, the blue lines, the red line, the green lines, and every other thing that you think you've done. Why should you then resort to this ridiculous violence? Okay, I've seen that. Okay, this is still news. October 2022. I didn't see the date. Sorry about that. Okay, this is PO and GRV are supposed to be in Alimo Show this morning. At police, I blocked the place. Now let's see this.
Hello? Yeah, what's up? Good morning.
Now look at their trucks. Right. Blocked off the place. Why?
Hello?
Why?
Yeah, what's up?
I mean, this is crazy. Okay. Joining the coalition. We are trying to announce a coalition between the Obedient Movement. For crying out loud. The Movement LP and ADC, championed by GRV Lagos and His Excellency Peter Obi. Date September. There's even no date here, but it's okay. It's fine. Let's see this.
We are the Lion Field now at Sujimoto. We are supposed to have our event tomorrow on the 6th. As at yesterday, we heard that the police have taken over the field, the venue. We've come and see what's going on because police are our friends and we believe that they are here to protect us and make sure that the place is safe. So no issues. We are going to go see the Commissioner of Police to discuss, using this field. We wrote a letter. So come in here, explain the process that we're going through.
We are the planning committee of the event. We wrote a letter of notification to both the area command and the one estate police station here, and it has been minuted upon and forwarded to the Commissioner of Police about 3 days ago. Up to now, we await the approval, so to say. So on getting here this morning, we find out that the place has been kind of condoled off with policemen, and we were told that we need to go and see the Commissioner of Police. And as His Excellency has said, we know police, they are our friends, they are here to protect us. and it is our right to also.
Yes, it's our constitutional right.
Yeah, to assemble. Yeah.
We are not doing a rally. We are not doing a protest. We just want to gather as an organization. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is why we are free. That's why we are in Nigeria. That's why we are in a democracy. That's why we are not under military rule. Yes. So we are going to go and see the commissioner now. And by God's grace, we'll get a favorable response.
Yeah, again, I again, yeah. I don't even think that they should, you know. Oh, this is 2023. Alimosho. I guess Alimosho is a very pivotal place in this whole saga. Unbelievable things happening in Lagos. See this one 2023 also. Yeah, they just block those places off and that's it. Okay, city commissioner because you want to use a venue. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. I'll keep following the story to see what happens at the end of the day. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, nothing really much happening here. I don't understand for the life of me why. This is my Nigeria Twitter handle, and it's giving me stories that doesn't even get close to Nigeria at all. Okay, it is what it is. Tinubu has his own schools, Bishop, and now Afeni Ferry. Everything he cannot purchase or influence, he counterfeits. Okay, I hear. Wow, Nupen wants to go on strike because Dangote is about to hire over 4,000 new truck drivers for a CNG truck with no intention of allowing them to join an association. The time when they hold the country to ransom because of unrealistic demand is getting over, and I am glad I'm alive to witness this. ASU is next. Okay. Yeah, I think that at some point, right, you cannot just be having all these strikes and putting people's life and all that at danger and causing imbalance in the system, you know? Okay, so that's it. Not only Mr. If you give me relationship advice, make I hear. Okay, I've listened to this before.
A lot of my mom, my grandma, and my babysitter. And I'm around the warehouse a lot, and also I made my own company. And my mom made it for me. Thank you for my mom for making it for me. And it is called Fidel. My name in French. At my school, they were bragging about like my dad. He makes all this money, and I said, my mom makes money too. A lot of money. My mom.
I don't even know what to say about that one because she's speaking good English. We should be normal. We should be normal on a normal day, but now we just get ourselves into all this mess. Imagine a guy, a baby giving birth in the US, is going viral for speaking good English, not speaking some ghetto trash stuff. And then you see the kids that listen to these guys' music and you see their children and they're in a very, very worse state. It's crazy. Nigerians are hungry. In December 1983, 1 year before Seun Okibaloye was born. So if you hear Seun Okibaloye shouting Nigerians are hungry every time on Channel TV, this is because now hunger cry, ain't done the cry since the beginning. Tinubu will crush the age longer age-long hunger and bring plenty and prosperity to Nigeria. It's all a process. I believe at some point, I think we are at that point where we're actually, this is a pivotal moment where things are actually changing for the better with respect to Nigeria. And I'm here for it. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that firmly. Okay. I don't know. This Raul Faragbeshola expedition or Odyssey to ADC, I don't even know how that would go. But again, I think he's decided to, speak for himself, be his own man. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. I had a fruitful engagement today with Alhaji Saad Baba Abdullahi, former National Secretary of the ADC. We shared ideas on how to better organize, mobilize, and build a strong movement capable of taking over in 2027. The journey ahead requires vision, structure, and commitment. And I don't think the ADC is ready, to be honest with you. I don't just think they're ready. I don't even know what's up. I don't. I don't even think they are ready at all. I like how this government made it a duty to break monopolies. If Nupen goes on strike, that Gote should just order 4,000 more truck. That would be their end. No nation can thrive under monopoly. Wow. Well. Okay. I'm gonna talk about this later. Okay, so before I go, I just want to Brother Shaggy at the love is this is great. Okay. So this guy, I don't know if you know him, was the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan. And it's got a lot of stories to tell about how it was. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play one of the stuff for you. Huge betrayal in 2015. Huge betrayal in 2015. Let me see.
But it's not quite dinner yet. You need a filling but not too filling that you're not hungry enough for taco night snack. What about chicken? Snack on 23 grams or more of protein per 100-gram serving of cooked Canadian chicken. Exact amount varies by cut. Chicken. Eat it any.
I sincerely appreciate the Deputy Governor of the state that is here with the Right Honorable Speaker and members of the State Assembly.
Okay, he said a lot before getting to
somebody's 70th birthday, you get worried. Because the Bible has some kind of stories about 70 years. Because if you read Psalm 90, verse 10, it talks about 3 scores and 10. That means that when you reach 70, you should be prepared to be buried.
What?
So when you are going for 70th birthday, it's always difficult. What will you say now? Because the man, by the biblical standard, is supposed to be waiting to die. But
kind of a
looking
joke
at the
is
Bible itself.
What kind of a joke is this? I don't know.
If you go to Genesis chapter 6, verse 3, it talks about 120 years, that we can live for 120 years. So Mike still have another 50 years to live. Minimum. So we thank God that the Bible is a book that balances everything, and that we're supposed not to die at 70. We can live up to 120 years. We thank God. For Mike, if you look at the way I appear, I normally don't appear this way in ceremonies. I used to wear a full traditional dress. But I decided to appear like my friend from Access Bank this way, because to remind me of our days as a deputy governor, because even my picture that he used for the program is the picture I took when I was a deputy governor. So he selected that picture when I was there. So if you look at,
there's nobody in Nigerian politics been so lucky. I'm blessed like this guy. But unfortunately, it was all wasted. What did he do for all the years, 6 years he was in presidency? What did he really do? It was one that, had everything going for him. Deputy governor, the vice president, president, within a space of 4 to 6 years. But when he got there, it was a different story. The havoc that we're suffering right now, the pains that Nigerians are going through right now, I would say that the whole thing was set in motion under this guy.
That face is much younger than my current face. But Mike is somebody that is difficult for me to place. As a human being from my primary school to the tertiary level and gotten involved in politics by divine providence from deputy governor to the president of this country, post-presidency of today, it's one of the few friends I have that can give out their neck for me. Politics in the Nigerian standard is about betrayal. You find it difficult to see some.
It's about betrayal. True. From one story to another, it's just a story and a film of betrayal here and there.
Somebody who will say the same thing in the morning and say the same thing in the afternoon and the same thing in the evening. I've witnessed a lot of betrayals, especially my 2015 elections. And Mike is somebody who, I have one other friends, but Mike is one person that will take a bullet on my behalf.
Even the guy carrying the book here is showing Ashiwaju's, I don't know what Ashiwaju's
So for
picture
occasions
is
like
there.
this, I don't know how to comment, other people to speak. But for me, is somebody that you can take his word to the bank. You can take Mike's word to Access Bank from seeing the owner of Access Bank here. Most politicians, you cannot take their words to the bank. They will tell you something, the next 1 hour they are saying another thing. The next 1 hour they are saying another thing. Mike, you have tried, you're a honest person, you're a true Catholic. And I'm quite pleased to associate with you. In fact, whenever I come to Benin for programs, I used to sleep in his, I don't even sleep in the hotel. Though this time around, because the children, grandchildren, everybody came, so I said, okay, please, let the children and grandchildren take the house I'm in the hotel. But that's how close we are. Mike has been a good person, and for us to have the current Chief Justice of the state and about 3 former Chief Justices of the state here speaks volume. For us to have 3 former governors here speaks volume. And the caliber of people we see around here to celebrate Mike speaks volume. I'm happy to have such a person as a friend. And I cannot say much, but all what I will do is, like my good friend Otedola is here, would have been a good governor of Edo State, But don't worry. Eh? God has a reason for everything. Yes. And the deputy governor is here, so don't worry. God has a good reason for everything. Edo State is also.
Okay, so that's it. Yeah, it was betrayed in 2015. He also betrayed Nigerians, right? Especially those that had their local government ransacked by the Boko Haram menace that happened during his watch. And again, that's what happens when you just get something without really being prepared for it. It wasn't prepared for the presidency, and the whole country paid for it dearly. We're still paying for it right now. Okay, we're still paying for it for all that happened during that time. It was quite unfortunate. Yeah, let's see this one. And then I'll queue this one. Let me add this to the queue. But
like my second state after Bayelsa because of my.
Okay, so here he was trying to explain what happened to the 50 million, 50 billion.
There was a scandal. This was more political, and those who read it. For example, the CBN governor, the head of my treasury, brings an alarm that we lost $49.8 billion between January 2012 and July 2013. That's the period of
1.5 years.
7 months.
Okay.
When you call $59.8 billion, just call it $50 billion. And it was surprising. And I don't think from the income, the oil income, I don't think when the IOCs, the operators remove their own and so on, what the government cannot be up to that within that space of time. It's a lot of money. Later on, when there was so much talks about it, it changed it to 12 billion. Later, it changed it to 20 billion. So, reading the figures, though everybody talks about for the 49.8, but the 12 billion later mentioned and 20 billion later mentioned. The Senate has to investigate and using consultants. One of the senators is there, and they did not see the money. Government has to use PWD, PricewaterhouseCoopers, to audit. And PricewaterhouseCoopers say that NNPC cannot properly give proper account to about $1.48 billion. They queried that they did not say it was stolen, but in terms of documentation and so on, they couldn't give proper account. But the story is that under Jonathan, the country lost $50 billion. I remember that year when we have a conference between Africa and Europe, EU. So when we went to Brussels, of course, Angela Merkel, then the Chancellor of Germany, asked me for a bilateral. So she invited me. So I have to go there with some of my ministers. Immediately we got in. She did not even allow me to sit down. So President Jonathan, that Nigeria lost $49.8 billion. I just look at her and say, well, Your Excellency, Germany, the economy is quite strong. So 49.8, just call 50 billion. So the economy is strong. So if you lose $50 billion, you will not notice it. But in Nigeria, if we lose $50 billion, the federal government, the state government will not be able to pay salaries. Yes.
Who are those clapping? Who are those clapping? Like, do you know? Okay, fine. He said it was 20 billion, and I think I stick to 20 billion. Then you don't need any PwC or any Deloitte to do an audit. Let me tell you the truth. What happened during Jonathan? It was a massive corruption spree. And I'm not sure if the country is going to get out of it. Right now, Alison Madueke, she's not in the country. CBN governor, 753 building. The CBN governor that he appointed, he said it was only 1.something billion. I'm telling you that Sanusi Lamido Sanusi would not have whistleblown if truly he didn't have an indication that there was something wrong. Now we know But there was a lot of stuff wrong. That's why we don't have good roads. That's why everybody is suffering in that country as we speak. Because of the incompetence of previous president. He was not even like, okay, fine, he appointed PWC. PWC will only see what they want PWC to see. The best thing was for him to have removed subsidy, which he tried to do, but people didn't trust him enough because they felt like the old system was corrupt. And at the end of the day, we saw how he took Sanusi out, brought in this guy. We now know that this guy himself, the CBN governor, immediate past CBN governor, was extremely corrupt. So what are you talking about? And what happened to that 1 point something billion? Did anybody go to jail for that? Or using that 20 billion story, shouldn't it have been the best time for you to have removed the subsidy? Now we won't have been in this suffering that we're in right now.
So I look at it and say, well, even in Germany, $50 billion is a lot of money. And ended there. So people will just hear some of these figures. But when you go into it, it is not quite correct. So yes, there's corruption in Africa. There's corruption in Nigeria. No doubt.
One sec.
about that. Yes. But some of the stories are not absolutely correct.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what happens. Okay, let me listen to this again. Wiki and Peter Obi and Jonathan's story. You guys heard of the fact that
we cannot take president and take chairman. Now you have given yourself national chairman. Let the president go to the south. Why not be that as used to be? Mm-hmm. Why not be that arrogant to say nothing will happen? No, they realize that something will happen. It happened in 2023. Even this one you have done now. To what? Bringing Obi to where? Obi to where? You want to kill the party the more?
You allow.
Obi that, I mean, you see.
Again, I don't know who are those floating the idea of having an Obi in PDP. It doesn't make sense from any point you look at it. They just want to use Obi to get the party up and running again.
If somebody don't have characters, Obi, that was abusing the party, that the party is rotten, is this. So the party is good now.
Structure of criminality and all of those.
For you to come and run for, you see, these people, ambition can make you even go to Satan's house.
Minister,
so it's PDP now the Satan's house. I mean, they should have asked him, is PDP now the Satan's house? Yeah, quite all right. I know Obi has had that. But again, it is what it is, right?
Excuse me. Don't rush. Yeah, ask question. So, Obi is not anybody who says so, like the Baba said, I heard him say, that is Baba's opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. But if you want to destroy the party, dare it. If you want to destroy this party, dare to bring Obi. Let even Obi come. There's nowhere he will go because of ambition. Can't we be principled? Because you are looking for president. Anybody that, if he is not available, this person costs me, this person costs me. So no more ideology, no longer principle. You talk about Jonathan. I respect Jonathan very well. I know he judged the role as an elder statesman and somebody the international community respects, and I think he will continue with that. These people who are weighing Jonathan, what is their strength? Are they not the same people who played him game in 2015? Some of these people, I see what I don't like is people who are trying to play to the gallery. Baba is entitled to say he's waiting for Jesus Christ. He's waiting for Prophet Muhammad. He's entitled to. But that is not the view, or that's not the opinion of you have heard that as a governor that who intends to run. If that governor is true that intends to run, how will Banana be saying that PDP is waiting for either His Excellency President Goodluck Jonathan, former president, or His Excellency Peter Obi? For Christ's sake, nobody should cause problem for the party. When you cause problem for the party, you now say people are behind this problem. You are the one trying to. How will anybody even contemplate?
Are you going to run since it's been zoned to the south? Are you running for presidency?
I will not run. So don't even, let me tell you.
Yeah, I don't even expect him to run. That would have been a very bad
would have to cause confusion everywhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to run for presidency on what basis?
I have don't stop me. I have integrity. I have character.
Wike with integrity. I don't know. Wike integrity. Okay. I have character. Okay. Nigerian politician. Wike. Okay.
There's no comment. Way. My appointment is there. We are saying he should run. Then I'll turn around to say I want to. What kind of, we are talking as if people who don't even have integrity. What will my children ask me?
Okay, Your Excellency.
What is for Tinubu?
Is it today you need?
Even when your party, when your party has zoned its presidency to the south as well.
That's why you zoned. To satisfy. You see, it's late.
I'm curious to ask.
Yes.
You talked about party ideology and principles that these politicians don't have. The ones you mentioned, Atiku, Peter Obi. I'm just curious as to your thoughts generally. Is that something that permeates our political landscape in Nigeria now?
Not correct. You would prefer those. Okay, take for example, where have I left? From since 1998. I've been in PDP. I've told you when there's a fight, I'll fight it there. Look at how you know character. I mean, I just analyzed to you here. Atiku, 1999. 2007, Iran.
Don't have. The ones you mentioned.
You see, it's late.
I'm curious to ask.
Yes.
You talked about party ideology and principles that these politicians don't have. The ones you mentioned, Atiku, Peter Obi. I'm just curious as to your thoughts generally. Is that something that permeates our political landscape in Nigeria
now?
Now?
Not correct. You would prefer those. Okay, take for example, where have I left? From since 1998. I've been in PDP. I've told you when there's a fight, I'll fight it there. Look, how you know character. I mean, look, I
Wow.
just analyzed to you here. Atiku, 1999. 2007, he ran under Action Congress. 2011, he came back around for the presidential ticket of PDP. 2014, he left PDP and went to APC and ran for the presidential ticket. 2017, he came back and became president candidate of PDP 2019 and became president candidate of PDP 2023. Now again, he had left to ADC to seek for presidential ticket. Is there any prescription of drug? Okay, for you, I mean, it doesn't matter. That's why I said about principle. Is that a coalition now? See what they call coalition. When CPC and ACN say, look, we want to fight the ruling party. Let's form a party. And which one they come with? All Progressive Congress. That is a coalition. Not about you. Every time you want to be this, if you don't get it, you move to the other party. He says a coalition. How can that be a coalition? It cannot be a coalition. A coalition is when two political parties or more than two political parties come together. Then you say, look, they are forming this for purposes of defeating the ruling party. Not when you, an individual, you didn't get a ticket here this year. You run to the other party. Then if you didn't get there, you already say you run to the other party, it's a coalition. That cannot be the definition of a coalition.
Interestingly, your media aide released a statement shortly after the PDP did the zoning, and he said that you had been vindicated. Yourself and the G5 governors were vindicated.
Okay.
He also asked a question in that statement. I want to believe he was speaking for you when you were saying, is it not too late? Can you answer that question?
I never said it here.
It's too late.
You know, something will have come out on time for people to be a president, to run for presidency. It's not by mouth. Except you just want to, you see, there are people who want to answer, I was presidential candidate. There are so many people who say, look, I was presidential candidate. It will be their CV. And then they say they are not the leader of the party being the presidential candidate. For Christ's sake, I've been into this business. I came out to run for presidency before. I know what it took me to go around this country. That is for primary election, not even general election. I know where I was heading to. So it is not just only the resources. You will also have to be mentally alert and be prepared psychologically. You have to. It's not, oh, it has been zoned to us. Therefore, I can now run. No, it's not done that way. It's not done that way. That's what I'm saying. That, look, except somebody, and I have not seen. I have not seen who in the party. Bana said he didn't, he sacrificed his ambition. But now you know the truth now. You know it was not going to be easy.
I agree with that. Like, you cannot just, you know.
And the leader of this wonderful and the brilliant party, the one and only Malam Nasiru Elrufai. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Progress. Progress. Mr. Chairman, that you have bestowed on me by inviting me to this conference, to Imo State, and to this occasion. I am very, very grateful to the national leadership of the party for organizing this conference and inviting these very distinguished keynote speakers. We flew in this afternoon. Our flight was a little delayed, and we had to go pay our respects to the Eze of Nekede. That's why we're delayed. I want to apologize for keeping all of you waiting.
No problem.
Now, having said that, I just want to make 2 or 3 points. First, we all know that Nigeria is in grave danger.
And we know that we've witnessed governments, we've seen them perform, seen them not perform. We've seen our situation as a country sometimes improving, sometimes not improving. But in the 65 years I have lived in Nigeria, which is post-independence Nigeria,
5 years.
there has never been a government that within 12 months has shown it did not come to work for the people, but for themselves. Within 24 months, this government, this APC government, has thrown 30 million more Nigerians into poverty. Each and every person that lives in Nigeria, whether you're rich or poor, know the difference between life on 29th May 2023 and life in September 2025. So what
I don't understand. So what he's saying is that even all those regime of Abacha, all those crazy times, is trying to say that they're better than Tinubu's presidency. Again, this is the problem I have with Malam.
Ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues in the SDP, is that Nigeria is going down and down. It has never been this bad in my 65 years of being alive in this country.
Why is he lying?
But this is not a conference of lamentations. This is a conference about the future. Our future is in our hands. We must register to vote. We must get everyone that is 16, 17 years of age now and above to register to vote. Because by 2027, they will be 18. Imo State, and indeed the entire Southeast, is lagging behind in the continuous voter registration exercise. This is not acceptable. The only power you have is your vote. It's the only thing you can use to kick out this government and replace it with something better. So I appeal to all of you here, you're all leaders in your own right, to please go back to your communities, to your villages, to your organizations, and encourage every adult to register to vote. That's the first step. The second step, of course, is to come out to vote on election day and vote against the APC. Number two, as you are aware, we have adopted a party for the coalition, the African Democratic Congress, the ADC.
Okay,
so why am I here speaking to SDP chieftains? I'm here to tell you that the adoption of the ADC is the first step.
Okay.
There are further steps where other opposition parties like the SDP, the NNPP, even the PDP or whatever is left of it, will join this coalition.
The PDP, whatever is left of it, they won during this last by-election. ADC didn't win, SDP didn't win. So again, I'm saying that if we're trying to build an opposition party that is really strong, I think that you cannot take PDP out of the picture. ADC, I've not seen them deliver anything.
This is a coalition to save Nigeria. To save Nigeria from extremely bad governance. A government of cronies that we have never seen in our history. And we must all come together. We must have an open mind of coming together, putting all our capabilities together.
Okay.
And confront the evil that is in the villa. We must.
This dude is so overrated that I don't even know if he really has some electoral value, to be honest with you. I mean, he used to be a very great guy in Abuja. Kaduna, no. Security issue.
Do it with single-minded focus. And we must put all our differences aside and ensure that this is done. The third point I want to make is that post-2027, the job of rebuilding Nigeria and bringing back the confidence and feeling of inclusion in governance.
I don't understand why he keeps talking about inclusion. Yes, all the states, they have one ministers. Okay? They do have one ministers. They have all this stuff. Again, what is he talking about inclusion in governance? There are a lot of projects listed. The Aneze Igbo, the Igbo chiefs and all that. Again, I'm not for that. They've all come out to say they want Tinubu. Now, what's he talking about? If they were not included, why would the Ohaneze of Igbo land say, I want Tinubu, that Obi should not run, that no Igbo person should run? I'm not for that. I don't believe that. If you want to run, you run. Okay? I'm not in support of that. But when you're coming here to talk about inclusion, and you're going to be talking to the Igbo chiefs, then what are we talking about?
We'll start. It's not going to be easy. Every Nigerian must have a sense of belonging. Most Nigerians today don't feel they belong to this country or belong to this government unless they have a Yoruba sounding name.
What? Why is he trying to flame this thing? We just had the CPC guys come out to say that they are fully in support. We've got the Ohaneze come out to say they are fully in support. Again, that's their own. That's what they said. I'm just reporting it to you. I'm not saying that they can come out tomorrow and say they don't support this government. That's fine. But when you come here and start to say, oh, if someone does not have a Yoruba name, dude, when your boss Buhari was there, the man that was ruling everything was Abba Kyari. He was the one calling the shots. Tinubu for once didn't even complain. He was sidelined for the past 8 years of Buhari. He was sidelined. What are we talking about?
And we must work together. We must not get angry. We must see this as a phase and a lesson on nation building. We must not be bitter or say we will revenge or retaliate what is being done now. But we must go back, work together as a people united, to rebuild institutions that are being destroyed, to appoint people to positions on merit, and to ensure that election time we stand up to protect our votes and not to be intimidated by anyone, whether it is police, the military, or INEC. We must register to vote, we must vote and insist that our votes count. This is our message right across Nigeria. I've been going around the country. I've been speaking to many people like you with this same message. For me, it does not matter who is the next president of Nigeria. But I want to see somebody who is competent and who cares about lifting the poorest of us out. And giving opportunity for the most endowed amongst us to excel, to realize their full potentials. Government should be an enabler of those that are weak to rise, an enabler of those that are strong to be even stronger. No one needs to be shortchanged in a government that is concerned about the people. But when a government is concerned about getting things for itself, a few families and a few friends, then the whole of society suffers. And we've seen a lot of this in Nigeria. We must come together. We must unite. We must be strong and resilient and work to make our country better. It is okay to sit and blame the leaders, but we should ask ourselves in our little areas, because each and every one of us here is a leader of some sort. You may just be the leader of your family, or the leader of a group of friends.
Okay.
You may be a follower to the governor of Imo State, but in your family, in your schools, in your circle of friends and social interactions, you are a leader too. How have you led people? Have you led with integrity? Have you led by example?
Okay.
Because unless you lead by example, you make those that are below you even more cynical. This government has said it is undertaking fundamental reforms. And we agree with some of the reforms. But leaders should lead by example. You can't ask us to tighten our belts while you are buying a new plane and a brand new car for yourself.
Yeah, but what did the LP, those people that were, voted in on that LP, they didn't object it. When the senators, in fact, when they called them to say this was what happened, and then say, okay, fine, it's just for official duty. Again, I'm against the extravagant spending. Okay, I'm against the extravagant spending, but again, what are the oppositions doing?
This is Latvia. Seriously, this is what I mean when I say lead by example. Because the people that you lead are looking up to you to see whether, when you ask them to sacrifice, you are also making a bigger sacrifice. When you ask them to walk, you are running. That's why you're a leader. And when people don't see that, they get cynical, they begin to distrust leaders, and this is what has happened to Nigerians. But I'm appealing to you, my friends, my colleagues, members of the SDP, that we should never, never, ever lose hope. This country is not a geographical expression. It is a creation of God. And we lost 2 million lives to keep this country the way it is. It is too late for us to go back and bring those 2 million lives.
Why is he invoking the civil war? This dude, why is he invoking the civil war in Imo State? Who told you that they want this country to be together? This guy doesn't read the room. He doesn't know how to talk. It's, I don't know, bro. To be honest with you, he doesn't just understand. It's just from one banana peel to another.
What we can do is to make Nigeria the China of Africa, and we can do it. We can do it, and by the grace of God, we will do it. All we need is leadership that leads by example, that treats every Nigerian equally, that focuses on getting people based strictly on merit while reflecting our diversity. It is not difficult, it can be done. By the grace of God, working together, all of us, we will achieve it. I thank you once again.
Okay, so that's it. I don't know, but I just feel that.
As analyst, I was going to
So
ask
Kenneth
the fact that you're a
Okonkwo,
politician.
yeah.
You are a politician. You are with the ADC, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So you haven't left the ADC?
No.
So this guy betrayed, according to the obedience, this guy betrayed the obedient movement. And it felt like Peter Obi wasn't strong enough to be a leader and it left the party crisis go to from bad to worse. So he decided that, you know what, I'm not going to be part of this. I'm not going to be part of this. I'm out. So he's gone out now trying to work for his boss, Atiku, trying to bring everybody together to be under APC. Now, just reading the title alone, according to him, Kenneth Okonkwo, it says ADC only opposition party in Nigeria. PDP LP only exists on paper. Yeah, young man, let me tell you, number one, PDP won more seats in this last by-election than AP could even dream of. ADC could even dream of. ADC didn't even win one. SDP didn't win one. If we're talking about party, in terms of other, I would take PDP before you. So I'll allow you guys to listen to it before I...
You're still very...
It just started.
Because there are people who have very strong doubts about the viability of this ADC. And they're
100%.
unsure about what exactly it
I'm
really
part
is.
of
Is this really a coalition? They had come out as a coalition,
It's
but
a
it now
party.
appears that they're just a political party standing by themselves.
Oh, well, let me start by wishing our Muslim brothers and sisters happy Eid Maulud. And may the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, bring us the birth of a better Nigeria. Thank you, viewers, for joining us. Now, you see, what happened with ADC is a novel thing. It has not happened before in Nigeria. So I understand why people mistake a whole lot of things. This is the first time in Nigeria the national executive of a political party, resigned and allowed a new executive party to take over on their own. So a coalition simply means alliance, to work together for a purpose, chose the party to use as their party henceforth. So it's not a merger. So the coalition is now dissolved into a political party. So it is not now like a coalition that parties, as in political parties, are going to work together. No. They have now dissolved into a political party. So it's now one party.
I understand that. But,
Right.
I mean...
Oh boy. Even the ones have this smile say, what did this guy just talk now? Like, what's he talking about? The problem is that ADC could not get PDP, LP, and whatever SDP, I don't even know what that one. He couldn't get them to come together and agree to follow Article. So to save face, they now said, you know what, we're going to call it a coalition. Now, a coalition that PDP is not even involved in as we speak. SDP, we don't even know where, because the guy that represents SDP is Elrufai. And SDP has even barred Elrufai from even using their name, but it still feels like it's with LP is saying that we don't understand what this ADC is. So you have this guy that have now pushed themselves out of the default party, now claiming that there is this coalition. It's no longer a coalition because LP is not working with them. SDP is not working with them. PDP is not working with them. In fact, PDP is trying to see how they can bring Obi back into PDP, which I think that won't even work. So I don't know what this guy is saying or what he's trying to preach to people, but I'll let
And we've since seen, because people have been asking questions, as a result of that, we saw the resignation of some prominent members of the PDP, for instance. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who resigned his membership of the PDP. We saw David Mark, Senator David Mark, resigning his membership of the PDP. He's the chairman of this coalition, of the ADC. We've seen a number of resignations, but we've seen other people, stay in their political parties, but say, I support the coalition. But there are questions as to if you're supporting this coalition, it would seem that you cannot be here and here.
Well, basically, there is, strictly speaking, there is no more any party like PDP or LP. They are just existing in papers.
What?
Because whoever is in PDP is either supporting APC or ADC. That's what it is. if the leaders of PDP had come out openly to say they are supporting the presidential candidate of another political party, that's the end of a party. 2 years before the time of the election. So strictly speaking, there is no party except on paper. And parties are meant to be on the people, of the people.
Oh, you say there is no PDP and there's no Labour Party?
No, where are they? You are there when Enwike, who is supposed to be a leader of PDP, had told you openly that he was going to support the presidential candidate of another political party.
Now, what do you expect Wike to have done?
So where is it? And he had told you that anything and anybody that goes against whatever he says, he will ignite fire in his state if he's a state governor. And he has told you that whatever he says is law. And in fairness to him,
okay,
it has been like that.
Sorry about that.
Entire Southeast say they preferred a secretary, Udokoye, for the political party. And if it's not given to them, they are going to leave PDP. Mike say no, it has to be Samuel Anyan. And today is Samuel Anyan.
No, but he did not say, he didn't just say that. This is not in his defense. You are a lawyer.
Absolutely.
He was standing on the basis of law to say you can't just remove somebody, you have to follow due process.
Now, let me state one thing. He maintained that position even before the Supreme Court gave judgment. And what the Supreme Court simply said in the judgment is that the political parties have the right to choose whoever they so choose. And the court has no jurisdiction to interfere in what any political party has decided. How does this judgment mean that it is now Samuel Anyan? Strictly speaking, as a lawyer. So you see,
but
you
again,
have the
it's the
way when
party's
you are the
decision,
power
right?
broker to interpret the law to suit yourself.
All right, fair enough.
What about the other things he's saying? Is it not crude anti-party to say you're supporting the presidential candidate of another political party in the coming election? No reason.
Again, I agree. I agree here that Wike is like a defiant political party member. I fully agree with that. I'm not gonna try and sugarcoat it, because what Wike is doing now, definitely in a normal, reasonable party, he would have been suspended. But again, that's not my own problem. That's not my own business. You people, is that anything, that will make PDP to become whatever it wants to be, I'm all for it, because PDP is primarily responsible for the problems we have now. They built the foundation. APC came in and then made the old mystery worse. Now, well, Tinubu is trying to do the reform. We'll see how that goes.
In 2023, he will pretend and purport that he had a reason. In 2027, what's the reason? And he has made it open.
He's an FCT guy.
So there's no party like PDP. So PDP, by Wike, who is their leader, has already chosen their presidential candidate. And they have zoned the presidential ticket to him. And that's Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I think that the PDP can defend themselves on this, but let's take
No, I wish them well.
Let's take on the Labour Party.
Recall that some members of PDP have said that if you are in PDP and you're supporting APC, they also have the right to be in PDP and support another political party. They said it. That's why I say there is no party like PDP. And I mean it. And I reserve the right to maintain that stand. Because if PDP officially is sanctioning the people that have taken that stand and said they are not going to discipline them, that means they've condoned them. And condonation means you are an accomplice to it. So PDP as a political party has decided through condonation and being an accomplice to zone their tickets to President Ahmed Tinubu. I wish them well. So the only political party now...
That's the implication you read to that particular zone.
Absolutely, and I've given you empirical facts.
As I said, the PDP has a right to defend themselves.
I agree with you.
We'll wait to see that. So let us take a look.
ADC is the only political party that is the opposition party.
No, you just dismissed the Labour Party.
They're not... Is there a Labour Party now?
What?
As far as we know,
Remember I told you that they're existing on paper.
Yes, the
you have up to 18 political parties.
The candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has not resigned his membership of the Labour Party.
Good.
He has said he supported you know, the ADC, but we haven't seen him take the steps that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has taken in support of the ADC. Do you think that, you know, he's still considering what his chances are, especially when Vice President Atiku Abubakar says, oh, he's going to be contesting this 2027 general elections?
Very good. You just said that one cannot be here and here. I heard it from you when we started. So if he said he's supporting the ADC, permit me to say he cannot be here and there. So,
he can
but I
change
will
his
allow
mind.
him. Well, yeah, sure.
He's allowed to change his mind.
Peter Obi is still with the LP. Now, I don't know how it's faring with respect to the problems that party is having. Okay, I don't even know. I don't even know really if he's going to be able to run under that umbrella. Because this was what I was saying in 2020. With Obi leaving Atiku, that was just a sure victory for Tinubu. Again, I've not seen any indication that has changed. In fact, now it's getting even worse because now you have PDP, you have ADC, and then you have LP. Now, the PDP, by the end of the day, they are not successful in getting a candidate. They're going to put somebody as their candidate, in quotes, somebody, but that person will just be more like a, you know, show face. Because the governors will then go to Tinubu and go and make a deal. That's what I think would happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so is it, can you,
as
can you
long as
totally
he has
then
not
rule
changed
out,
his mind?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you then totally rule out, you know, the Labour Party in the coming elections?
I am ruling out the Labour Party and whoever decides to run under Labour Party in the next election. Take my words for it.
Why?
Because it's not existing. Where are the structures? No one.
But where are the structures of ADC too? Like, guy, listen to yourself. Where are the structures of ADC? PDP is not repping with ADC. But where are the structures?
Executives? No local government executives? No polling unit executives?
Did they really
no
do
state
that?
executives?
Did they have
now
that
there's
in
no
the
national executive. And you think you can do wonders? And you alone, you are the only politician, the name is being thrown around. In politics, a tree does not make a forest. And in Nigeria, any one tree that is leading any political party, that forest is dead. Because even if you win, they will take it away from you.
Let's go to Lagos now. I understand my colleague Ayo has questions for you. Ayo.
Wow.
Thank you, Malkwe. Well, still on that issue that you just spoke to, Mr. Okonkwo, you don't think that the obedient movement might take issues, you know, with the issue, with what you have said now, that the candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, is the sole tree that making the forest of the Labour Party? Is that what you're saying? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Well, you said just now that it seems to you that Mr. Obi is the only tree that is making the forest of the Labour Party. On the one hand, there are those who would wonder whether or not the Labour Party would agree with you. On the other hand, whether or not you think the obedient movement might be on your side on that issue you just raised.
Well, first of all, you misquoted me a little bit, and thank God I've not left your studio. I said there is nothing like Labour Party existing anywhere except on paper. And I said no one person, no one politician can be a tree that can make a forest in democracy. Because democracy is about numbers. Democracy is about the majority. And I said any one politician that decides to be alone, to be in a political party, is as dead as that politician. And I said if any one politician decides to go the way of Labour Party in 2027, and he's the only one there, he will not make any impact at all. That's what I say. So anybody has the right to agree or disagree. But I'm telling you that in Nigeria, even if that politician wins and he's the only one in that political party, they will take it away from him and nothing will happen.
Well, the issue, one of the issues to raise with you then would now be to ask you, do you think Mr. Obi will remain in the Labour Party in the upcoming presidential election because he has said that he would contest, or you think he should leave?
Well, that question is hypothetical, and I am not a prophet to know what is going on in Peter Obi's mind. So when you see Peter Obi, kindly ask him that. As for me, I don't know. I don't speak for him.
It's because of what you said.
For now, he has not decided on any political platform he wants to run. And Ayo, if you have the spirit of clairvoyance, you can help me on that.
Well, the reason I asked that question actually is because of what you said. That on the one hand, the Labour Party doesn't really have strong enough structures to bear any candidate. As far as you're concerned, the Labour Party does not exist. So that raises the question. Okay.
They don't have any structure at all.
That's the basic.
PDP still has the most robust structure, even though I don't like the party, compared to LP, compared to SDP. The only party that has more structure, better put, is now APC. It used to be PDP being the one with the former structure, but now it's APC. And again, PDP right now, the way things are going, they're actually more lenient towards having it. I'm telling you the truth. You might not like it, but that's what is happening right now. If they can't get a formidable candidate, which I don't think they have at the moment, they won't go the way of basis
of the question. Yeah, that's the basis of the question, Mr. Okonkwo. Do you think, I mean, given that he performed very, very well on the platform of that party without those structures, and I think Marco was trying to reference that, without those structures, he did very, very well in the last elections. So that's why I'm asking whether or not you think he should consolidate on the success he had in the last election with that particular Labour Party, or you think there is a chance that maybe he could jump ship?
Well, like I said, first and foremost, in 2023, we had our structure in Labour Party. We had the national executive, we had the state executives, we have the ward executives. Such structures do not exist anymore. And as you can know, as I'm talking to you today, even the national leadership of Labour Party is an issue. The INEC cannot even categorically tell you who they are, neither can anybody. So that's what I'm saying, that for now, they don't have any structures at all. And then you're asking me, do I think? And your question is hypothetical. So I'm not a prophet like I told you. You said, do I think that Peter Obi will run under Labour Party or not? And he has told you he supports ADC. And he has not told you any party he would want to run on. So I wouldn't know the answer to that question.
That's interesting.
Until he makes his decision and makes it clearer. If you recall, one reason I say I wouldn't speak for him is that I said I will not speak for a person that I do not understand his stand on important national issues. Now, I do not understand his stand on anything about 2027. So it's still a mystery that he would have to break.
I agree with him on that one. So, seriously, I don't even know what he's going to do tomorrow. Peter Obi, I don't even have any idea. As a matter of fact, I don't have any idea what he's even up to right now. We've got the obedient movement, awareness stuff, vote registration stuff. We've got him in LP. We don't even know what's up with that. It's just messed up. And the problem is this. He's been given a chance at opposition, and I don't think he's done a very good job. I'm talking about Peter Obi. Now, the problem is that he's also hindering other people that may actually have a shot at being a good opposition. Because it kind of gets into the territory and sucks everything.
Interesting that you are a member of the ADC, and you know that both the ADC and the PDP are courting Mr. Peter Obi. Why do you think he has a better chance? This is just you thinking now, permutating based on your experience in politics.
Yes. Well, first and foremost, ADC is cutting every Nigerian without any special preference to anybody. Because in 2027, it's going to be the people of Nigeria against APC. And ADC is...
It's going to be the people of Nigeria against who they think would be able to deliver. There's going to be a lot of people also against ADC just because Atiku is there. Because Atiku is not a new wine. And it's not a new bottle. I mean, the party is not a new bottle. So it's going to be both.
That alternative that they should have. We do not have any preference. Every Nigerian has equal importance to us.
This is more like a campaign
for the people.
A campaign
so
speech.
when you say ADC is cutting, well, I'm telling you, we are cutting everybody. As I'm sitting here in this platform, I am cutting Maokwe, and I am cutting you also.
Okay, well, interesting,
political parties,
interesting angle, Mr. Kokwo. Just a second. Interesting angle. Now, from what you and a host of other people built around Mr. Peter Obi in the run-up to the 2023 elections, you guys produced about 6 million votes. Now, you also said on this program so far that politics is a game of numbers. I don't have Mr. Peter Obi's numbers, and I'm not sure if Markwe has Mr. Peter Obi's numbers. Now, for a political party like the ADC, it's natural to expect that, okay, who has more political capital? Between the three of us, I would say it is Mr. Peter Obi, right? So, do you think, should the APC adopt Mr. Peter Obi as its candidate for the 2027 elections, will you be on his side?
No.
What?
No. ADC is going to go into democratic.
What? Wow, that's crazy. That's really crazy. I mean, the question is straightforward. If ADC says Peter Obi is our guy, would you support him? And this guy said no. Is that not anti-party? I know they're not going to, but it's hypothetical. Maybe he doesn't want to say, okay, I'm not gonna answer hypothetical questions here. But you can't just say no. Like, he was your guy. He used to be your guy, bro.
Free, fair presidential primary election.
No, that's
and
not a question.
Emerges, the party will support the person against Tinubu in 2027. That is the democratic thing to do. You do not allocate tickets to people, you contest for tickets. Anytime any party makes the mistake of allocating tickets to people, those people, except it is by the consensus of all the candidates that want to contest.
If it's by the consensus of all those that want to contest, that was the question he asked. That if there was a consensus, that was the question.
People eventually go to waste the ticket. I give you an example. In 2023, Tinubu was the leader of APC. Yet APC could not allocate any tickets to him. He went in and contested and won in the primary.
But that wasn't the question.
Very prepared for the exigencies of the general election. And with that capital by his side, with all the fellow contestants by his side, they were able to make INEC to pronounce Tinubu the winner.
Now, you see what is in there? He's trying to prove his case. He's trying to prove his case that, okay, let's go through this part. Okay? And then he gets to the point where he says, okay, because Tinubu went through the primaries, he was able to sway all the parties behind him with the party's chest and all that. He went to the election. And instead of him to say he won, you see how this guy is not being straightforward. Now say what they were able to make INEC. Like, dude, you can be better than this. Dude, you can be better than this.
Of that election. So you need political elites, especially in Nigeria, as you need the people to vote for you.
Clearly, you are not in support of zoning.
Well, in 2027, I am not going to support zoning in ADC because the zoning arrangement now, especially as perpetrated by PDP, is a fraud.
So you have nothing against zoning?
No.
But you are not supporting it in 2027 for the ADC?
Absolutely. And one, it is because we are at this halftime of an incumbent that has run this country aground. And then, if you are in the opposition party, you cannot be talking about zoning your own ticket, because you need to get the best out of Nigeria to be able to fight an incumbent.
Yeah, fair enough.
But when there is no incumbent contesting, the issue of zoning makes more sense. Because as an opposition party, you will be shooting yourself in the leg to cut off any section, any zone from assessing your ticket, and you want to fight an incumbent.
Are you sure that,
political suicide.
are you sure, because you have not hidden your support for Vice President Atiku Abubakar, that you will be supporting him in the 2027 election should he decide to run? And I think he said he's going to run. But are you sure that he's reading the signals correctly? Because some people will say Mr. Peter Obi seems to get it more when he says that he will only do one term. Should he be given a ticket on any, he hasn't said what political party platform, but should he get a ticket to run, he only plans to do one term should he clinch that ticket.
Ironically, the issue of this one term, I heard it first even. I was the one who propounded it as a theory, saying that any party that is serious to fight an incumbent must have to say that whoever is going to contest should have to do one term. So that no side will feel cheated.
No, the one-term thing has always been a political stuff in Nigeria. Remember during Goodluck Jonathan and IBB, there was that talk about IBB just doing one term. And then Jonathan was like, at some point he had to step down. There was also the one-term thing, I think, during that time when Jonathan got in, and I think during 2015, there was also different theories about, one time and all of those. So it's not a new theory in Nigeria. One time, all this one-time curveball has always been thrown at different points when people can't get their way. So be like, okay, let me just do one time and go. But again, it doesn't even make sense.
So if you are a Southerner, if you don't agree to do one term, the Northerners will say you want to do another 8 years. That will offend the system. If you are a Northerner, if you don't agree to do one term, the Southerners will say, okay, that means you want to cut us short early in time. So I brought the theory as a way for any opposition party to inspire Nigerians to know that each side will not lose when they make any choice, whether north or south.
So how do you justify your new stance?
No, that's what I'm saying. So it was even Atiku Abubakar that first of all said he was going to do one term. Then Peter Obi now keyed into it. Because he knows that if him, as a younger person, does not make that promise, he loses the entire north. So it's purely a political strategy to say, look, I am not going to cut the 8 years. I'm not going to shortchange you. So if I am elected, I will just do only 4 years to complete the 8 years of the South. So that's just the whole idea about it.
But the North doesn't believe him. And that was why Jonathan now came into the picture, that the only person that can make that promise is Jonathan, because he already did a full term. In fact, he already did 2 years as vice, becoming president, and then a full time as president. So people were like, no, that's not going to be possible. What you're going to do right now is that, you know what? It's not even going to work. It's only Jonathan. And I think it was Obi that first came up with that when he said that anybody that is serious can solve Nigeria's problem in 4 years. And now you have Elrufai saying that that's nonsense, that nobody can solve Nigeria's problem in 4 years. But then he wants Tinubu to solve Nigerian problem in 2. You see all the games these guys are playing?
Well, zoning is a whole conversation by itself, and it's interesting as you understand the sensitivities that it portends, but we're totally out of time to discuss in this matter, Mr. Kenneth Ogongo. I wish we had a little more time, but we really have to go. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I hope you come again soon enough. Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo is a lawyer, columnist, public affairs analyst, and a politician. Thank you once.
He's a politician. The politician. Wow, I said I was going to listen to this one-on-one with Senator Aminu Tabuwal. Let me just put it as watch later. Yeah, it's a lot of things. This guy's saying Obi has conquered greed. I'm going to watch that also later. But I need to go now. We can go ban for ban. Yeah, I need to go now. Yeah. we have to dissociate ourselves from a lot of stuff is really eating up for 2023. About Elrufai Lambas Wiki over Obi. Let me see if I can actually save that also to work later. Well, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate. Yeah, catch you next time. Yeah, it's not time to stop streaming.